All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome one and welcome all. This is Iowa High School Baseball from Bishop Mueller Complex here in Sioux City, Iowa. The beautiful backdrop for our Class 3A battle here today as the Crusaders, ranked 5th in the latest IA baseball polls, take on number 13 Harlan in a non-conference showdown here today. And we appreciate you coming along for the ride and taking some time to join with us today. Got a lot going on. There's a lot of fun to be had here, and we're going to get right to it. As always, the broadcast brought to you by DMOS in Des Moines. 3 great locations that you can catch up. If you have an ache, you have a pain, something going on, hey, check out DMOS Orthopedics. Get yourself in the right space and do it today. Often less time, often less money. There's a whole lot of good going on at DMOS. So make sure to check them out today or wherever you can get the chance online. Again, it's Harlan coming in out of the Hawkeye 10, and we'll get into that. They're taking on the Crusaders of Bishop Heelan as they get ready, and another strong season in the works for them out in the Missouri River Conference as well. And so, again, 2 cross-conference teams going at it here, and we're going to get you going with pregame coverage right around the corner, so don't go anywhere. We're here from the Cliff, and we'll be right back to get you going pregame right after this.
When it comes to protecting your home, you need more than just a contractor. You need a team that you can trust. And at IA Sports, we trust Lion Exteriors. They deliver expert roofing, siding, and exterior solutions built to last, because your home deserves the best. With quality craftsmanship, honest service, and stress-free process from start to finish, they make upgrading your home simple and reliable. Whether it's storm damage, a full roof replacement, or a fresh new look, Lion Exteriors has you covered. Contact Noah today or visit lion-exteriors.com and tell them IA Sports sent you to schedule your free inspection. Lion Exteriors, protecting your kingdom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome back, and appreciate you hopping on and joining the ride here. Boy, we have a good game in store for you today. It's not just myself, but it's also Chad Erickson joining the ranks here for me, as helping us out and getting going as we bring you into the booth here. And Chad, we got a good game brewing up here. This is a 1-game slate, but this as well might be one of the more exciting matchups, because these 2 teams haven't seen each other since last year,
sub-state championship.
Sub-state title game. It was either Harlan or Heelan. Heelan ended up taking the win and heading off to state. And it was interesting because it was right here in Sioux City, in which state happened last year. And they didn't have a whole lot of road to travel here. Again, this is right back at it. First time since they've met. And boy, we're going to have a good one.
Absolutely. You know, both these teams always get up for this game. The 5th time I've seen these 2 teams match up over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's always a good game. I mean, these teams really go at it hard, and they want to win really bad. You know, the way they approach this game is almost like they should be in the same conference, because both of these teams are absolutely after it. You're going to see some really good baseball today.
Oh, no doubt about that. And we're going to go ahead coming on up here as we will take a look at the team comparisons here in just a bit. But, man, this truly is one of those where it might as well be a conference battle between these 2. It's just a shame we don't get to see them in doubleheader action. But certainly it's always a fun one as we go ahead and bring you our team comparison, brought to you by DMOS. And, you know, as it states right now, 19th battle between these 2 teams coming on up. Harlan with the series edge here. But, man, when you look down the line, we'll start with Heelan, number 5 in the polls. They come off of a 730-win season in the Bound era, which is huge to think about. A lot of times we mark the pinnacle of 20 wins, and Heelan is now getting to 30. They're the set standard for what excellence should be at the top.
Yeah, it's a really great program, and you know, even though Andy Osborne has stepped away as head coach, Jacob Wesselman has filled in. This is his first season. You know, the Heelan team's a little bit younger than it has been over the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. Graduated a lot of seniors the last 2 years, but the younger guys have been stepping up. They've been filling those roles, and and having some missteps at times, which you would feel
Yeah.
from a younger team, but they've showed their ability to win good ball games against good teams, and so we hope to see more of that as the season goes on.
Yeah, and again, Harlan, they're facing a team that's right lock, stop, and barrel. They have had guys that, again, several which are on our top list in the Iowa baseball individual position rankings as well. Both these teams have multiple guys who are just absolutely rocking it here. And for Harlan, they come off of a 17th 20-plus win season, 11-6 right now, but I mean, you go down the line, these teams are nearly identical this year in hits per game, total bases, and extra base hits. The difference being really when you get to the pitching here, I mean, they allow this exact same number of hits per game, which is wild when you average it out. And again, the only edge here going to Harlan by 0.1. The only difference is in errors and earned runs per game. Harlan giving up almost 5. Meanwhile, Bishop Heelan just over 3 a game. So we'll see how that ends up. And gosh, you go down the line, we'll take a look at some of the players to watch here. Let's go ahead and start off with Harlan as we bring that up here for you. We'll go ahead and get that ready here actually in just a bit. But as we go ahead and get that set, again, Harlan is, as we bring in, they're going to be a big team. In fact, you look at this, Colton Schneider, a guy that you have to look out for, batting .375, and then Fox Argetsinger. I think he won one of the craziest cool names I've ever seen out there.
Right.
So one, you got to give him credit there, but batting .310, 10 stolen bases, and Jonas Reynolds, we'll see him on the mound, but he can do a lot with the bat here, .321 average in 13 RBIs. But I also got to say, as we go ahead and bring up Heelan, boy, I mean, we know what this team can do up and down. I want to start here with Jonathan Hope. The guy can run. I've seen him. I saw him just a bit. He's got some sprint speed here, and it's going to be a fun time to watch him.
Yeah, he's been electric on the bases, and he's been able to get on base quite a bit as the season has gone on. Hitting leadoff for Heelan and doing a fine job with that, setting the table for the guys in the middle of the order and advancing without having to be sacrificed over and things like that.
Yep.
You know, I believe he's trying to chase down Hunter Wahab's school record for stolen bases. He's got a ways to go yet, but he's on pace to do some things special as he steals bags.
And then Brody Shaner, did I get that right?
Yeah, Brody Shaner.
Brody Shaner, man, absolutely love it. But man, this guy is 43 total bases already this year. That's like, I mean, you're getting up there ready to find a lot of damage. 21 RBIs, 362 at the bat. And then, you know, we'll not see him here in this game, but Caleb Lefevre, again, big shout out to the guy that's getting asked to go and pitch at the draft combine.
Right.
Huge thing. I mean, just to put into perspective, there have only been a handful of guys from Iowa over the past 10 years to get to that stage. And we remember what happened here last time out of DCG. Catcher absolutely tearing it up at the minor league level here. And again, we could possibly see that here with Caleb with the arm.
Yeah, we saw that last year with Tatum Gray, and then he went on, and I know he was lighting things up at the beginning of the season. I hope he's had a really good season as things have gone on here. Out of Dallas Center Grimes, really, really good bat to ball talent that he has. And now Caleb Lefevre has an opportunity to go to the MLB Combine next week and show basically the world what he has. I mean, there's only 350 people invited to the MLB Combine each and every summer. Roughly half of them are going to be college players and the other half are going to be high school players. So it's a very elite list of people that are going to be performing there. His dad was telling me potentially Wednesday is when he's going to be able to throw off the mound. So we'll see what happens. The schedules can fluctuate a little bit. So good luck to him for sure. And hopefully we'll have him on the broadcast at some point.
Yeah,
in the game.
We're looking forward to that. So make sure to keep right here for us. Right now, let's go ahead and as coaches are coming out here, as we're about to get ready, let's take a look at the lineup here, and we'll start with the Well, we'll go ahead and start with Harlan to start things off. And Harlan, they're going to be looking like this. Argetsinger in center field, followed by Schneider, the second baseman, Kiergaard in left field. And then the pitcher in the cleanup spot in Reynolds. Nelson will be at second base. Spangenberg at the hot corner at third. Gross in right field. And the DH will be Heck, followed by the catcher in Kaufman. And then meanwhile, the lineup here for the Crusaders will look a lot like this. It's going to start off with Jonathan Hope. Again, right out of the gate, a guy batting .448 is going to set the tone absolutely perfectly. Tommy Carroll will be up next, batting .317. Brody Schrainer will be doing the duties in the number 3 hole. Dylan Knapp in the cleanup spot. And then it'll be followed by the catcher in Peyton Erickson. Nathan Gaswint, as we've seen him last year primarily on the mound, we get to see him in the field here in today's game. And there will be a Lefevre playing, but not Caleb Lefevre. Aiden Lefevre will be doing the duties as he'll be rocking the bat, and he'll be followed by Alex Rodriguez and then Chase Beck to wrap up the lineup. And, of course, as we look at the defense here for both teams, we're going to first start off with Bishop Heelan, and they're going to look like this. Carroll in left, Knapp in center. Gaswint will be camping the grounds in right field. And, again, at the hot corner will be Beck, followed by J.J. Hope at short. Giese will be doing the duties at second, followed by Schrainer at first. And again, Aiden Lefevre will be on the mound dealing here tonight, and Erickson will be behind the plate. And, of course, we'll move on over here to what Harlan looks like. And, again, their lineup is looking like this. Gross, Argetsinger, and Kiergaard in the outfield, followed by the infield and Spangenberg, Schneider, Nelson, and Hoffman rounding out the infield. Reynolds will be doing the duties pitching, and he'll be throwing to Barrett Kaufman, as that'll be the lineup look here for Harlan defensively. But, of course, I can't go without mentioning the fact that these two teams have had quite the run here as of late. Let's look at the road so far here for Harlan. And as we look at Harlan and their look, they've had kind of a mixed bag. Wins against Lewis Central, Glenwood, and the Monarchs here of Denison Schleswig. A couple losses to Spencer and Ballard, but overall, they're coming in hot. They're doing well. And then, of course, for Heelan, they came off a trip to Council Bluffs, but before then, kind of a mixed bag as well. They've had doubleheader losses to Council Bluffs, Abraham Lincoln, Sioux City East, but they have won doubleheader against Lamar's, Galen Catholic, and St. Edmunds. Of course, also a loss to Johnson. That was at the Iowa Central tournament in a heck of a field over there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful facility over there at Iowa Central. You know, those boys that play on that field every day, whether they're at Iowa Central or Fort Dodge team, they really get a special field to play on every day, and it's very envious of them. But Briar Cliff, the cliff here is no slouch as well.
I was gonna say,
very good facility also.
This is a facility owned by the diocese, if I'm not correct, and the fact that this has had a lot of changes over recent history. Again, the infield, I believe 2021 was the first year that they had the turfed infield.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then it was not too long after that they built the stadium seating here.
Yeah.
Last year they changed the fence.
Yep.
And updated that. It used to be a wood fence, and now it's got the old Briar Cliff blue and gold.
Yeah.
So very, very sharp facility.
Absolutely. And, man, what a great job this has been. Again, this facility out there. And we'll get to more of a highlight here for you on the YouTube page as well and on the social media. And I got to say here, before we go any further, these two teams, again, set really well as we get the ceremonial first pitch. And but yeah, I got to say,
Payne makes the good pick there.
He made it look a little bit better than I probably was in the grand scheme. But, man, this is such a great battle. These two teams, again, Harlan has, you'd think for one game, a trip over here. But, again, these two teams might as well be conference opponents. This was last year. It went down to the wire all the way. It was last year. It was the same venue that state was. I mean, it had the atmosphere of state, everything perfect. And so you got to think that both these teams are ready to get back at it.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think they had this at the beginning of the season. I know that the Heelan boys had this date circled on the calendar. We did get rained out earlier in the season, so we had to move it. But we're getting it in today, and the boys have been looking forward to it. And I'm sure that the Harlan boys have been looking forward to it as well. They'll be fired up. No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. And again, Harlan coming on over here from the Hawkeye 10 conference here. And boy, they've had a good one under head coach Heath Stein. They've been constantly. This is, I believe, 8 to 10 years under the belt for him. Don't quote me on that, but his name has been there so often. It's been so consistent. He's done a great job with this program as the lineup is getting announced there. Again, they come into it 11-6. We talked about their recent skid here, their recent lineup of games. But man, Heelan also, you talk about this Heelan team as we transition to the Crusaders. They've been able to defend at home fairly well. I mean, the road obviously is a different beast in itself, but I think home fans have had a lot to like here this year.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the big question for Heelan coming into this season was, how are the bats going to perform? Who's going to step up? You know, we knew coming into the season who the number 1 and number 2 pitchers were.
Yep.
But what was going to develop beyond that? I think there are still some questions in that area, but we've had some guys really show some good things, including Aiden LeFavor, who's going to be on the mound this afternoon. So, as an 8th grader, he's been really outstanding. As always with Heelan, really good defense behind him, and I think that makes a difference, especially for a young pitcher. To understand and realize, hey, I don't have to try and strike everybody out. I got a lot of really good gloves and arms behind me, and so I can make sure that I'm pounding that strike zone.
Yes, no doubt about that. And again, as an 8th grader, 21 strikeouts already, and he's done that through 24 innings. He's been a workhorse out there, and again, we get to see what that is all like. Coming on up here, we're going to take just a quick break as we get the national anthem and more going on, and we'll be back to give you first pitch coming on up right here on the IA Baseball Network.
.62, Coach. 62. First out. We're doing this so that the kids can continue to play. Like we used to enjoy playing when I was in high school. I understand how fun it was, and I want that same fun to be had by the kids now. So that's why we need more officials to keep these games going on.
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect, no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, you know, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better and when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field. So it doesn't really help much. But what does help is encouraging your team when they're down, when the call doesn't go their way. Instead of yelling at the officials, try to help encourage your team and get them out of the funk that they're in, and try and get them in the right direction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem wrapping on up here, and we are about underway here as we get things rocking and rolling again. On the mound is Aiden LeFavor, as man, the 21 strikeout earner, looking to add even more to the mix. Meanwhile, he's going up against a Harlan squad that is absolutely, again, they're averaging right around 7 hits per game. They're getting their hits in. They're finding ways to be productive here. As again, we'll go ahead and shoot you back to our team comparison here. And again, nearly 8 hits per game here for Harlan as they get set to start on off, averaging nearly right at 2.2 extra base hits per game and total bases at 11.2. Meanwhile, pitching here for the Crusaders, it's been business as usual again. Under 6 hits allowed per game, over 6 strikeouts per contest, and they don't allow a whole lot of runs, just 3.3 on average per game. And it has been, again, a bend but not break type of mentality here for the Crusaders and the Cyclones. As we will get you set and we will get you rolling here. Again, starting off will be for the Harlan Cyclones, Argensinger. He's going to step up and he's looking to start off. And man, if you ever could think of a prototypical leadoff guy, you wouldn't think of it from the sophomore standpoint here. 30 total bases, 310 on the season. And the thing is, Chad, he's more patient than I think most sophomores his age. 17 walks on the season. He has more walks than runs driven in.
Yeah, well, he showed a lot as a freshman, really hit the ball well last year. And one thing that I think he's added to his game this year is the power. 3 home runs already. And he looks bigger than he did last season at this time. So really expect good things from him as he proceeds through his high school career.
And a little chopper first pitch, but that'll be sent foul, 0-1 with the count. Again, more great action here across the IA baseball scene. Catch us up on socials wherever you can. Instagram, X, Facebook, right here on YouTube. Plenty of places to catch us, so please catch all the action. We're all across here. I believe we're in Waukee as well, and of course out there in the Marion area as well. So we got plenty of ways to catch some high school baseball, not just on the broadcast here, but all across the slate as well. So the 0-2 count here. Aiden LeFavor on the mound as he'll get to set and look, and he'll get the fire on in. First ball of the game here, up and high.
Yeah, I think he wanted to be a little bit more competitive with that ball and just kind of got up and away from him there on the outside. But he's still ahead in the count. So,
he sure is. 317 all the way to the left foul pole here. 322 to the right, as that one's too high, deemed an even count at 2-2. Left center field 365, dead center at 402, right center at 365 as well. The dimensions of the Cliff Field here, and home of the Briar Cliff Chargers. And again, a wonderful shared tandem here, because again, with Briar Cliff, their season in the spring, in the summer, you get Bishop Heelan. This has been a great partnership.
Yeah, Heelan's fortunate to have this great partnership with Briar Cliff, and they share the entire facility with the Crusaders. So hitting and pitching facilities.
Yes.
They don't share the clubhouse, but they share the pitching and hitting facilities as well as the field, which is just really awesome.
That is strike 3 on the outer edge, and boy, you talk about painting the corners there, calling the maestro on that one as he caught the edge. That's a huge strikeout and huge out number 1.
Yeah, it was a great pitcher's pitch by LeFavor. I think even if Argensinger got a bat on it, it'd be difficult to really make good. Aiden just made a great pitch there, and Argensinger has to take a seat.
Schneider on our top 16 infielders for IA baseball. He's stepping on up, takes a look at strike 1.
That was a nice first pitch, off speed there, a little curveball. Batter let it go.
Next pitch, that one's fouled back in a quick 0-2 hole. And Again, as a pitcher, especially a young pitcher, man, from the coaching perspective, you got to love this. We're already starting off. You got pitchers counts right out of the gate here.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really Aiden's MO. He's got to stay ahead of these hitters and make the most of that basically advantage.
Yeah. Again, Schneider 375 leads the team with 24 total bases. This would be a good chance to add another one here. That one's a sharp rocket, a nice dive by Hope, but that'll be all that he could do to keep that one in the infield. That one as deep in the hole as possible. I mean, if you could give some type of honor or a point to that, that was a heck of a play. Just couldn't get it to first.
Yeah, Hope gets to balls that most shortstops aren't going to get to. That was another example. And you know, give credit to Schneider there. It's got good enough wheels, and Hope thought the best of it and just kept the ball in his back pocket, which is probably the right decision as far deep in the hole as he was.
Kiergaard stepping up and a shot to second. Could they turn two? They're not going to get it in time, but a heck of a play there. They do get the lead runner, and they do get two quick out here. So a fielder's choice brings up a pitcher-pitcher battle as Reynolds stepping on up to the plate.
Now, the last time these two teams met, Reynolds had a great game, not only on the mound, but at the plate.
Yeah, he certainly did. And checking over there at first, man, these two teams also no slouches when it comes to getting the bases stolen. Harlan 53 out of 56 attempts. First pitch is not quite there. Looks like ball one. And boy, yeah, last time, how cool was it to see this battle here? I mean, I got to say, Reynolds was absolutely lightning. And then, of course, you got a pitching battle up the yin-yang here in last time these two teams met. And I think you're going to get that here again. But, I mean, you saw the perfect game, honestly, last time these two teams met.
Yeah, you got your money's worth in that game. And, you know, back and forth battle toward the end of the ball game. And lots of excitement, lots of hype. And with a state berth at stake. So
yeah,
you don't get much better than that unless you're playing in the state tournament, right?
I mean, it was such a shame because that was a state tournament type feel to that ball game. And boy, I mean, you couldn't have asked. Sometimes you get games that just get blown out and you know by the third or fourth inning who's going to win it. You had absolutely no idea despite the lead here for Harlan, or sorry, the lead here for Heelan that game.
Absolutely. Well, right there, the Lefevre showing his pickoff move there. I think that was his A move, and they almost got him at first base. Now he's on the run.
Runner taken off, and the slide in will be in time. Mark at 54 stolen bases on the year now for Harlan. As they get a runner on second here, a chance with something working in scoring position. But on the other end of it, there does draw a full count here to the number 4 hole man. With 2 down, here's the full count pitch. That one right back up and nails Lefevre. Hope with a good recovery and will get the out. But you got to wonder just a little bit because you saw him limp just a little bit off the mound. He's kind of being calm, cool, collected now. But boy, I think that hurt me from up here, Chad.
Yeah. You know what? It feels a lot better when you make the out. So, you know, for your scoring at home, that's a 1-6-3 put out there. You don't see that too often, but it does happen. You know, JJ was in the spot he needed to be in to make that play and make the out at first base on Jonas.
Well, with that, we are scoreless through half an inning. We get the chance now to dive into the Heelan half with Hope, Carroll, and Schrainer when we come back here on the IA Baseball Network.
When it comes to protecting your home, you need more than just a contractor. You need a team that you can trust. And at IA Sports, we trust Lion Exteriors. They deliver expert roofing, siding, and exterior solutions built to last because your home deserves the best. With quality craftsmanship, honest service, and stress-free process from start to finish, they make upgrading your home simple and reliable. Whether it's storm damage, a full roof replacement, or a fresh new look, Lion Exteriors has you covered. Contact Noah today or visit lion-exteriors.com and tell them IA Sports sent you to schedule your free inspection. Lion Exteriors, protecting your kingdom.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This inning brought to you by the great folks at Insulites. Check them out today at insulites.com. If you've dreamt of not shocking yourself to test if your electric fence is working, hey, I've got you covered. I've got you set. You're ready. It's Insulites, the LED insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. It truly is some great stuff. Check it out today at insulites.com. All right, we get rocking and we get ready here to go. Boy, again, what a treat we have here today. These two teams, non-conference rivals, going at it here. Hope coming on up here leads the team in stolen bases, but boy, he's near the top in terms of batting average, and we'll get to see his lightning speed with his hands and his legs.
Yeah, Hope's a really tough out. Even with 2 strikes, he's got a lot of bat-to-ball skills. Not afraid to take that ball to right field and go with the pitch.
Man, and in fact, Coach was talking to me, nearly half of all his 0-2 counts that he's ever faced, he's been able to produce a hit with. And it really is something hard. It's hard to do that. When you got something going, you get 2 strikes, you just tense up. It's just your body gets there. It's a natural feeling.
Yeah, without a doubt. Getting behind in the count or getting to a 2-strike count, no matter how many balls are involved, really, really difficult. The batting average drops dramatically, and JJ has been able to battle through some really tough at bats as the season has gone on.
The 2-1 wisely lays off here, 3-1. And boy, how many times have you seen this 3-ball count here to Hope? And of course, both of these teams, Argetsinger, Hope. I truly, if you wanted a game where you had 2 of the best leadoff batters in the state, I think you got it right here.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be tough to choose one, that's for sure.
Very hard. That one gets sent out of play here, brings it full 3-2. Again, Harlan coming in 11-6 on the year, and they have been, they started in the preseason rankings, continued through, and it's both of these teams have stayed, and they've been true to the rankings here through 5 weeks of action. Here's the 3-2 count. And a swing through that one. He went up the ladder and he obliged. That's strike number 3 and out number 1 here, as Reynolds will start with the K.
You don't see that very often from Hope, and 9th strikeout of the season for him there in 24 games. So
yeah. Meanwhile, that's 24 strikeouts on the season here for Reynolds, as he pours in ball number 1 for the second batter faced, which is Tommy Carroll, the left fielder.
Tommy's been a really good asset to the team this year. He's really stepped up as a freshman, as well as JJ or Hope does. He has really good bat-to-ball skills, and it's going to be fun to see him develop as a ball player, get stronger, get bigger as time goes on. But just really an outstanding baseball player, especially as a freshman.
That one rocketed in, and a nice backhand stop across the diamond. It goes. Heck of an effort there. We're seeing shortstop play at its finest, although that was unable. Schneider almost got that one, but a heck of a backhand one. That was fun.
That was a good job to keep the ball in the infield, and it was just too deep into the hole to make the out. And Carroll moves reasonably well down to first base there and is safe on the infield single.
So with 1 down here, we bring up the number 3 hole man and Brody Schneiner up to the plate. Again, you got some height here, and boy, you got a guy that can definitely put bat to ball here.
He's had a lot of hard hit balls. I mean, we don't have a gun on exit velocity for Shader, but Shaner has hit the ball consistently hard all season. A lot of foul balls because he's a dead pull hitter.
Yeah.
So you got to be aware of that. But definitely a power guy.
The 1-0 count here with a runner on. That one sails just about outside 2-0 the count. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, you get the chance. These guys are absolutely swinging some good bats. And if you want to help yourself out, check out the Batting Donut at the Batting Donut. A great bat weight, 9 and 16-ounce varieties. We'll tell you more about that coming on up here. But the next pitch, too far out of the zone, a 3-0 count. And, you have one down. You kind of have the whole field as your oyster right now if you're at the plate here for Strainer. And, I mean, absolutely. You can hit it anywhere. You can grab the walk. You're going to have a productive play no matter what.
Yeah, probably taking 3-0 here early in the ball game.
Takes a strike one.
Fastball top of the zone there for him. Now he's on 3-1 here, probably looking for another fastball, and he's looking for it right where he wants it to be. So,
oh, man. Reynolds, he'll looking fire. And that one tried to paint the outside corner, but just couldn't. So far, getting some fairly even calls there on the outside edge. Again, love to see that. And again, another shout out here to all the umpires who make it possible as we get Dylan Knapp up to the plate. Again, Knapp also sporting a good season here so far, as Heelan looking to add more into the mix.
Knapp's been a little streaky at the plate this year. He will be a much better player once he finds that consistency. He's got a lot of talent and a lot of tools, and I think he's going to get there.
Yeah.
But there are just some guys that are a little streaky.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, in the end, still batting .333 on the year. There's still – it's one of those things where if you're still streaky, you're still doing pretty well at the plate. I mean, gosh, what could be? That potential.
That's right.
As that one sails too far out of the zone here.
When he gets hot, he gets red hot.
Oh, man.
So,
and it's almost like watching a movie that you don't have to pay a lot for, because you got a guy who you just know he's going to grab a hit. Just how is he going to do it? With 2 runners on here, Reynolds looking to get out of the jam, 1 down. That one gets lifted. That one's taken out. That one's going to left field. That will be deep, and that will be near the warning track. Meanwhile, trying to get a runner over to third, and does. So runners do sport on the corners here, so a productive out nonetheless here for Knapp as he gets out number 2, but runners on first and third here. And with that, Peyton Erickson stepping on up to the plate. Again, another year of varsity experience under the belt here for Erickson, getting a chance to rock it here out of the number 5 hole.
Yeah, he's been their workhorse behind the plate again this season, kind of dealing with an ankle injury, but I think he's starting to come out of it. He was moving a little bit better last night than he has previously.
Mm-hmm.
Suffered that injury a couple of weeks ago, so just finally working out of it. It's always tough as a catcher. You're going to get a lot of bumps and bruises. And
yep.
You got to work through some things.
24 total bases on the year, and another one would be very much welcomed at this point. He has runners on the corners. He can't really get into an out, otherwise the inning's over.
Yep.
But again, runners on the corners here for the Crusaders.
Surprisingly, Reynolds has kind of been behind every batter this inning. Not something that we normally see from him.
As that one goes, and boy, I was about to call him heading off to first, right on the knob of the bat.
Right on the knob of the bat. Just didn't get turned around all the way.
And you could tell just by the sound of it. It's you go, okay, yeah. there was not a maybe on that one. So the next pitch sails a bit high on him. You could tell a little bit of frustration from Reynolds here, who, again, not used to being in those sort of counts where he is having to work from behind.
Right. He's had very good control today, just having a little bit of trouble getting into a groove. I'm sure he'll settle in at some point, but
the 3-1 sails outside, and another walk here for Heelan as they go ahead and load up the bases here. So they've got some potential damage brewing here as Erickson draws the walk, and coach coming on out.
Yeah, that's going to draw a mound visit.
Obviously it doesn't look like it's going to be a taken out, but what's the conversation like at this point as you get in?
I think as a coach, you're going out there just to slow the game down a little bit, kind of just say, hey guys, we got 2 outs here. The bases are loaded, so take it the easy way. Let's, talk to your pitcher and say, hey, keep the ball down in the zone. You're letting the ball ride a little bit.
Yep.
You got to focus in on getting that ball down so that we get a ground out and get a ground ball and get out of this inning.
Absolutely. And they're going to try and do that here as we get Nathan Gaswin stepping on up to the plate. We saw him a lot last year, obviously, with all the guys on there just primarily on the mound, but exciting to see what he could do at the plate.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding year at the plate, really showing the coaches that he has that ability to drive the ball. 2 doubles yesterday down in Council Bluffs and really hit the ball hard down there, which he's done as the season has progressed. He's just been gradually steady every day, getting better at the plate. Hadn't had a lot of opportunity to hit prior to this season. So as a senior, he's getting a chance to play both ways and really embracing it and doing a great job.
Batting .308 with 28 total bases on the year. And again, really stepping up in a time where you just kind of need that with a younger crowd. 1-1 count here. Reynolds trying to get out of the jam. No score yet. And he misses that one away. And you have 2 outs here, but boy, you got to kind of tiptoe around it because one wrong move and you get at least, with the speed that Heelan brings, you at least play 2.
Yeah, that would be it with 2 outs. You're hoping to score that runner from second base and, maybe drive one, go gap to gap here. And you got an opportunity. This is a hitter's count at 2-1.
That one sails up on him 3-1. And you know what? I got to give a shout out to Heelan's uniforms. You got the little vest jersey going on, and it's something that you don't see in the major leagues hardly at all anymore, or in college ranks. But you get to see here. It's kind of a refreshing spin here.
Yeah, kind of a little throwback jersey, and they've worn this. There's a hard ground ball.
That
to
one
left
gets
field.
into the outfield, and that plate's won. And Gaswin will get first blood drawn here today. Heelan with the lead early. It's 1-0.
Well, that was a good job there. Nathan got a ball that he could pull, and he pulled it down the in between the shortstop and the third baseman, and nice hard hit ball made it through the infield for the first RBI of the game.
Aiden Lefevre brings a pitcher matchup here as we take a look at what he's been doing here at the plate. 242, 9 total bases, not a ton of action, but still he's been doing what he's needed to. And again, don't let the size fool you. 8th grader coming on in, as an underclassman, it's tough to rock in the conference that Heelan presides.
Yeah, no doubt. You're going to see really good pitching, and even today, where this is a non-conference game, Reynolds is their number 1, and they're throwing him against the Crusaders. So once again, Crusaders are hitting the ace.
Yes, they are. So 1 run comes home here on the Gaswin RBI single. A couple walks, you have 2 hits, and that is effectively all she wrote for inning number 1. But again, it is the Heelan Crusaders as they come up on top. And when we come back for inning number 2, Nelson, Spangenberg, and Gross stepping on up here for Harlan when we return on the IA Baseball Network.
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect, no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better and when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field. So it doesn't really help much, but what does help is encouraging your team when they're down, when the call doesn't go their way. Instead of yelling at the officials, try to help encourage your team and get them out of the funk that they're in and try and get them in the right direction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. Inning number 2 kicking on off, and it's Nelson to get things rolling here. Again, this Harlan Crusader team constantly this right around 17, 20-plus win seasons over the course of the Bound era. They have been on it. This has been a perennial strong program. And again, the black shirt jerseys, they rock it here today. And LeFevre sends one high as he goes off against Nelson. Nelson on the season has had a good year as that one gets roped right side and a diving attempt. No, in the outfield, it gets away from Gaswin. And now we get a runner heading on over into scoring position. Second time here in 2 innings for Harlan. So a hit and an error helped to get a runner back at second here for the Cyclones.
That was a tough one by Nathan Gaswin out in right field. Field the ball off to the side. I think he kind of took his eye off of it as he was approaching the ball, trying to see where the runner was at. He's kind of mindful of trying to throw to first base, even from right field. He's got such a strong arm.
Yeah, he does.
That time, I think it just kind of cost him a little bit. Just ball kind of snuck under his glove as he was trying to field it.
Spangenberg takes a look. Ball 1.
So now we got a runner in scoring position with nobody out here to lead off the inning.
And sophomore batting .316, 22 total bases, 15 walks on the year. Again, another batter here for Harlan with double-digit walk totals. And, that as much as you see teams, you get fearful of how many hits, how many extra base hits they get. This team, you got to be fearful of the walks that they draw.
Yeah, well, when you get a disciplined team, a lot of patience at the plate, you're going to see a lot of base runners. That pitch right there is a good example. That's a great take. Just at the very top of the zone, out of the zone, and he took it. A lot of guys probably swing at that pitch.
Yeah, of course. And again, next one, got him in there for the strike. Needed that one, obviously, to keep it rolling. And, what's really interesting here is the battle these two pitchers have faced have been kind of different trajectories. LeFevre has had more of a pitcher's count, and Reynolds has had more of a hitter's count against him. That one gets roped right side. Gaswin coming up under that. He'll camp out. There will be no trip to third, so we keep the runner at second.
Yeah, I think that's a good play, and the coaches know what kind of an arm there is out in right field, and I think you're going to think twice. And Nathan's not afraid to let that arm go, as we just saw there, that one hopper to third base on a laser beam.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be the pregame talk and conversation. Do not run on really most of this outfield, especially right. And it truly is. We've seen what he can do on the mound, but it's really cool to see what he can do in the field as well. Rose on the mound, and he'll send that one left side. Nice diving attempt and a pickup. Wow, second time that's been as deep in the shortstop hole as possible. And Hope, again, most shortstops, I just don't think you end up catching that one. And it's an infield single here, but you still got to give credit to a great infield play.
Yeah, he did a good job of keeping that ball in the infield. It's potentially is going to be an RBI single if he doesn't field that ball back there. So it did, even though an out wasn't made, you kept the runner at third base.
Heck now up at the plate here for Harlan, and a prime opportunity, one down, and they're trying to get going here. They've already had 3 hits, and they've all done so in this inning, and it's been an effective one so far for them. As that goes here for strike 1. So they're kind of right on the precipice here. Bend but not break goes the Heelan defense.
Right. Heelan playing normal depth on defense. I think they're willing to concede the run for an out here early in the game. Do not have the third baseman playing in. So hopefully maybe turn 2 here if they get a ground ball.
Well, that one, though, swung on here. Strike 2. With a 1-2 count here, 1 down, and more coming out. And again, we are in the second inning, top half. It's a one-gamer, and again, these two teams make it feel like it's a conference battle. It's so fun, and we're glad that you got the chance to catch up with us. Here's the 1-2 delivery from LeFevre. That slow roller goes too far off the edge here, brings it even at 2-2. So far, 3 hits here for Harlan, 2 for Heelan. Both teams with 1 error on the day. And here's the 2-2 delivery. Runner taken off, but that one is sent, and that will be an infield single, and that will drive a runner on home. And that's how you do it, tying up the game here off the bat of Gavin Heck, the DH. Singles one in for an even 1-1 tie.
Yeah, good 2-strike approach there by the hitter, and nice little liner, soft liner out there to left, and drove in the run.
Barrett Kaufman stepping on up, the catcher, getting his chance at it here. Still just 1 down and a chance here. Again, we've seen it. Nearly half of the hits, in fact, exactly half of the hits that Harlan has had have come on 2 strikes. The bunt attempt laid down, and it is a beauty. And they're going to try and get the throw at first, but it's not going to be in time. And we have a bases juiced situation here. All of them full of Cyclones. That's exactly the way you want to draw it up there. And boy, I don't think you could have placed that one any better as Coach Wesselman coming on out to the mound.
Yeah, I don't think you could have rolled that out there any better, just perfectly. And, Aiden got off the mound and made a good throw, but the batter beat the play to first, and just hats off to him. It was a good bunt.
And, of course, you got to have a conversation on the mound right now because Arget Singer coming on up next. And this is the guy that we talked about, one of the leaders on the squad in walks. And despite what he's been able to do at .310 average, 30 total bases, 15 runs driven in, but he's been more impressive as he has had just 9 strikeouts against him, 17 walks.
Yeah, he's definitely a dangerous hitter. Not a guy that you want to face with the bases loaded, and he could do some damage here. So LeFavor's going to have to be careful. Defensively, we got first baseman in.
There's a high chopper out there to second. A good step on to second, and that's all they're going to get there as no throw will happen on the back end. And with that, Harlan, they take the lead here. It's now 2-1. Heck of a play there. And again, great job to keep it in the infield here, but in the end, it does allow for a 2-1 lead here as Schneider now comes on up to the plate.
Yeah, that was a good play. You got to get an out in that situation, which Heelan did, and so now you've got 2 down, runners off. They tried to induce a step off there. Arget Singer took off for a second early, trying to induce some sort of maybe a balk or a step off. We've seen that play, get into a rundown with 2 outs and let's get another run across.
Exactly.
LeFavor didn't take the bait.
And that's really hard to do, man. Especially as an underclassman here, a guy that's your first chance at varsity action, you get it. It just goes to show the lineage that this family has. And again, a lot of baseball history within the LeFavor family. That one, a high chopper up the middle, and that will find its way into the outfield grass. 1 run coming on to score, and we'll have another plating 2 here on the RBI single here, and helping the cause here as Schneider picks up 2 more.
Now batting for Harlan, the left fielder, Harrison Kiergaard.
And now this went from a 1-0 Heelan lead, and it is turned into a 4-1 advantage here for the Cyclones as Kiergaard steps on up to the plate.
Yeah, they've done a lot of damage with 2 outs here, and just some very well-placed balls in the field, and hats off to them having a good approach at the plate and hitting the ball hard.
That one gets sent out there into left field, and that will be station-to-station baseball after Schneider picked up his 25th and 26th RBIs of the season. Hit number 7 of the game already for Harlan as they put runners on first and second.
Yep, now as we said, starting this game, LeFavor throws a lot of strikes, and he's doing that today. Balls are just finding a way to get through this infield, and you just got to keep throwing those strikes and having faith that they're going to start going to your own defense.
And an
No, that's a good
almost,
play.
that was a heck of a play. Nicely done there. That almost got away from him. And that's one way to end it here as Reynolds is set down on the 1-3 put out. Boy, heck of an effort there. And it will stop the bleeding, but not before you get 6 hits and 4 runs here for the Cyclones in that inning. They help to push across now a 4-1 advantage. And it will be time for Heelan to answer when we come back. And when we do so, 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Crusaders right after this here on the IA Baseball Network.
Oftentimes when you have an injury or fall and you're concerned, your first thought is to go to the emergency room. But with DMOS Urgent Injury Clinic, wait times are often a lot less and you can be seen at a lower cost.
If you know that your injury is related to bones, joints, muscles, ligaments, it's a great place to start.
From sprains and strains to fractures and even lacerations. We have 3 clinics for urgent injury that you can be seen at, and we have fantastic surgeons that we can consult and refer to when necessary.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here. We're going to go ahead and bring up what's gone on so far, and it looks a lot like this as we bring up the scoreboard. 1 in the bottom of the first here for Heelan. It did not last long, as 4 in the second here for Harlan has given them a 4-1 lead. 7 hits here for the Cyclones, 2 for the Crusaders. And we get rolling here as Rodriguez stepping on up to the plate, takes a look at strike 1.
Yeah, Rodriguez DH for Cal Geesey, and he's had that role a few times so far this season. Done reasonably well. Young player.
Swings through that one.
Kind of catching up to the speed of the game. I think he shows a lot of promise. I think he's going to have a good future for the Crusaders.
Yeah, Rodriguez having a good season overall. Has 7 total bases, 286 on the year. And the 0-2 count. That one caught enough of the edge and didn't like that one. In the end, it goes for strikeout number 2 here for Reynolds, who seems to, at least through the first batter, be getting in a little groove. And now Chase Beck stepping on up to the plate. Number 9 hole man looking to do some damage here as he gets ready for first pitch. And Reynolds will fire on home. That one sails a bit high on him.
Beck has surprising power, a couple of triples this year, and really fast. So your prototypical 9-hole hitter, right? Still, you want to get a good on-base guy. There he's hit by the pitch.
And that one, ouch. He didn't want it to do it that way, but he was granted the base pass anyway. So both teams now can claim that they've had a runner on base here through 2 innings. And now it brings up the top of the lineup here in J.J. Hope. And, boy, I think you could do a lot here, Chad, with Hope and his speed. You could put a lot of pressure on, and I think that's why he had the meeting on the mound there. What do you do here with this? If that ball gets put in play, you have a risk of not getting a single out. As we get runner on first here, as Beck stands ready to run. Hope 0 for 1 so far. He'll take the look, and he'll catch the outside edge, strike 1. Again, strike out his first trip up. Looking to add on to what has been a really stellar season for him at the plate. Reynolds, 25 strikeouts on the season now. And looking fire. The bunt laid down, and this could be a perfect one. The throw gets him by a step there. That was close. Either way, however you rolled it, the job was done. It's a sacrifice. Now puts a runner in scoring position. And now Tommy Carroll stepping on up. Singled, and later came around to score his first trip up. And, man, getting a runner at second here does produce just open the doors just a bit here. And Carroll, we've seen, can put the ball in play pretty well.
Yeah, I think Hope was trying to bunt for a base hit there, just wasn't able to beat it out. Jonas Reynolds did a great job fielding that ball and making the out at first base.
The pitch, and no go on that one, too far outside here. Again to Carroll. On the season, the freshman, 313, 28 total bases, has walked 11 and has driven in 11. Here's a chance for number 12 here if he gets it in good play. That one has to duck from cover there as he goes and watches that count rise 2-0.
I think he's got a magnet in his back pocket. He was hit 4 times in one game last night, and it's not like he steps on top of the plate. Just kind of bad luck last evening.
And that one gets away, and we'll find Beck strolling leisurely on over to third. And a chance. There are 2 down, but a runner on third gives some hope for trying to get back into this one. It's a 3-0 count. By the looks of it, kind of laying off, being a little careful here because, again, even a good hit could produce an out here. And with a runner on third, you don't need an out.
Yeah, well, I think should have a backside approach here, try and push that ball to right field.
That one, though, goes too high and draws ball 4. So runners on the corners here as we bring up more Heelan offense. And, again, a guy that can draw the walk and get the hit. Brody Shaner stepping on up. He singled his first trip up. And, again, that was a heck of a defensive play. He hit one deep in the hole, and you see the defensive outlook now. You see Short way out near the grass.
Yeah, normal defensive depth here.
That one gets set high, and that one will be...
There's a lot of space over there.
And it is caught out of camera view, but boy, that one died once it got right about to the fence line. So the threat that was here for Bishop Heelan goes for naught. As Shaner now gets a pop-up, and that'll end the inning here. So, despite some runners onto the base pass, despite a hit by pitch and a walk, nothing really going here. The Crusaders still find themselves down by a 4-1 mark, and it's Harlan. They're going to try and keep their bats hot when we come back. Nelson, Spangenberg, Gross, due up next right after this here on the IA Baseball Network.
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field. So it doesn't really help much, but what does help is encouraging your team when they're down, when the call doesn't go their way. Instead of yelling at the officials, try to help encourage your team and get them out of the funk that they're in and try and get them in the right direction.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We get top of inning number 3 coming on up here. Harlan has been off to a strong start, 7 hits through the first 2 innings, and they have pushed across 4 runs in the process. Meanwhile, the Crusaders, 2 hits and 1 run. Both teams have had 1 error each on the day. We get things started here as we get rocking with Nelson stepping on up to the plate. The second baseman, last time up, he reached and then got all the way to second on an error, and he takes a look at strike 1. And, of course, as we go along here, we're going to have coming on up Caleb Lefevre stepping on up here in just a bit as that one falls outside for ball 1. And we go ahead into the broadcast booth. Here we go, and got to bring it up just a little bit here for us as we get Caleb Lefevre joining us. Caleb, thanks again for taking the time, man.
Yep.
I got to ask, you are one of just a few hundred individuals in the entire state or in the entire country to be asked to go to the draft combine. First off, what does that feel like?
It's a pretty cool experience, going down there in late June, just going to do my best, showcase
Yeah.
yeah.
I gotta ask too. You have to go and battle between getting ready for that, and you've had games up to this point already. Taking some time to kind of obviously focus in on the draft combine, but how do you balance something like that?
It's tough because every other state, like, they're not playing right now, and it's tough in that aspect because they're all preparing for this, and it's pretty big for draft stock, stuff like that. But either way, I have two great options in going to Iowa or the draft. So great situation.
Yeah, man. And how do you prepare for something like this? I mean, obviously you had the chance, you got some bullpens in already here, but how do you truly prepare for something like this?
Just mentally, like, I guess the spring league kind of prepared me, the prospect select one.
Yeah.
Thrown in front of like 30, 40 scouts in the All-Star game. That was a pretty cool experience, and throwing here in front of like 20 scouts around there. But just competing in that sense to get ready for that, and then getting the body right, getting the weight back up, because this summer's been a little bit of a grind, but
Yeah.
it's a tough situation getting ready to play after June for sure, after the combine, and that'll be fun.
And of course, as we go through along, it's Gross stepping on up here now for Harlan with a runner in second, third straight inning that they've can claim that they've had a runner in scoring position. Caleb Lefevre joining us here on the broadcast. And also, man, I truly, what is the feeling like when take me through, how did you find out? What was your first thought when you got the nod that, hey, you're going to go pitch in front of all these scouts in this big time event? What was the first feeling that crossed your mind?
I was pretty excited. Like, I knew this would be big for just exposure and stuff like that.
Yep.
But early on, like, I haven't been to many tournaments down south or any of the area code stuff like that, so I haven't really gotten to show myself up until this year in front of the scouts.
Yep.
It was kind of something my advisor did a great job figuring out. Just getting that done for me and trying to communicate with the MLB, and got it in my email, and I was pretty excited.
Man, and that's something really, really cool. And of course, still trying to narrow down exactly when you go. Do you have an idea yet of what might happen?
I don't know the full schedule, like when I'll throw or everything, but I just got my flights. I'm going to be there the whole time, actually, 22nd to the 28th. Fly to Omaha. Or go, Aiden. Yeah.
That one got in there. And I got to ask too, it's not often that you're up here and you get to see your brother out there kind of rocking it.
Yeah.
What's the feeling like as you have a lot of attention here, but now you get the chance to see your brother go ahead and hurl it?
No, normally I'm watching him from first to the dugout DHing, but come on.
That one got just out of the outstretched hands. Runner is coming on home to score one, and another one onto the board. 5-1 lead here for the Cyclones. But man, gotta feel pretty cool when you see pretty much the whole family having success here.
Yeah, he's I worked with him all off season, strength training, throwing program, everything like that. So it's cool to see him out here competing. Getting weak contact here, honestly, but they're just finding holes. So
Seeing eye single for sure brings in one. And Caleb, also with everything going on here, you still have chosen to take time to play here at Heelan. And I know that with all the things going on, the area code games, everything that everyone's asking you for, you still choose to be a Crusader here. How important is it for you to remain a Crusader?
good ball pitting. There we go. I've been with the Crusaders since I was in 8th grade. Just Coach Osborne teaching me ways of the game, knowing the game. And just honestly, I feel like I owe that back to the program, stuff like that. And just staying loyal, being able to stick with them through the process.
Well, no doubt about that here. And of course, as we go ahead and we're getting just a quick test check, making sure everything's all good on the mound, and it is. And we keep rolling here again. It's a 5-1 ball game, 1 run already scoring here in the top half of the third. As that one gets lifted pretty high, that one's got some depth to it, but that will be in center field, and that will be deep enough as it will send the runner home and make it a 6-1 ball game. But Caleb, from up here, one thing that you got to really appreciate the fact is that you have some great support system. Obviously, talk about your dad who's been there since day one. How cool is it? I mean, this is an experience that not a lot of people get, and he knows exactly what's behind it. He knows everything that there is. How has that helped you in all your preparation?
I feel like he has a pretty good grip on like just the game in general and teaching me stuff like that. The change up there, Aiden. Just all that stuff has been really beneficial for me. Helping me when I was growing up, stuff like that.
Well, no doubt about that. And when you get there, when you get to throw, how special will it be to have him in the stands cheering you on?
It'll be pretty cool, at Chase Field. Haven't thrown in a big league stadium ever, so be a
That-
little daunting right away, but
Yeah. Well, it's still got to feel pretty good, though. I mean,
yeah.
you get that up there, and again, you're just one of, I believe, 2 or 3 Iowans to have done that over the course of the last 5 to 7 years, and so big honors there. And of course, right here we have a 6-1 lead here for Harlan. Lefevre on the mound and Lefevre in the broadcast booth. Interesting to say that here, as we're blessed to have you, man. And before we let you go here, you go forward, you get through. How just take a little second to talk on how this team has done this year. 15 wins coming in as that chopper out there to second. A good pick and fire will capture out number 3, and a good job by Giese. But how fun has it been? And what is this team? How good has this team been this year?
I think we've been really good at the plate. Like we lost a lot last year at the plate, and I feel like our approaches have been really good. And we have guys in the bottom of the order that are getting on, letting our top of the order work. Um, Everything. I think our pitching staff's coming along. Getting some depth for later. Need that in the state playoffs.
Yeah.
Sub-state stuff like that. So I think it's been really good. We're on a good trajectory, I think.
Well, hey, man, thanks again for taking the time. It's been absolutely really cool to see your trajectory since you've been here all the way up until now. And it's great that we get to see you play in high school uniform just a little longer. But, absolutely kudos to you and good luck at the draft combine.
Thank you.
Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back after this here on the IA Baseball Network.
When it comes to protecting your home, you need more than just a contractor. You need a team that you can trust. And at IA Sports, we trust Lion Exteriors. They deliver expert roofing, siding, and exterior solutions built to last because your home deserves the best. With quality craftsmanship, honest service, and stress-free process from start to finish, they make upgrading your home simple and reliable. Whether it's storm damage, a full roof replacement, or a fresh new look, Lion Exteriors has you covered. Contact Noah today or visit lion-exteriors.com and tell them IA Sports sent you to schedule your free inspection. Lion Exteriors, protecting your kingdom.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here as we get you back set and rolling in as we got Knapp stepping on up here for the Crusaders and a 1-1 count. And boy, what a good conversation, fun conversation that was here with Caleb Lefevre. I mean, that's huge to be asked to join such a really prestigious as that one is fouled left side. Again, you're one of just 3 Iowans, I believe, over the course of the last 5 to 7 years to have been asked to come and do this.
Yeah, it's amazing. And, good luck to Caleb when he goes down there. And it's a proud moment for his family, for him, for his family, for his friends, for his baseball teammates, and the Heelan family as well. So
that one goes a little bit too far inside, and Reynolds will allow the first batter he sees in the third, a hit by pitch. So far this game, 8 hits here for Harlan. Aside from that first inning, they've been out of the gates here. I mean, 4 in the second, now 2 in the third. And, Heelan's got to find a way back here. They scored in the first, but they've only had 2 hits, and that came early.
Yeah, Heelan's going to have to get something going here with their bats and extend an inning here and get Reynolds to really throw quite a few pitches. and put his endurance to the test, because he's really settled in here over the last inning or so. Now he's starting to get ahead of guys in the count instead of getting behind as he was in the first inning.
And Reynolds, if he's on that kind of a tear, it's going to make for a very difficult outing. That one is roped right side and almost caught out there at second. Had to backhand it, and man, that was a strike that probably could have taken your glove off.
Yeah, it was a tough play, line drive right at him, and he just couldn't handle it.
Boy, and by my account, that has to be, as we have just a conversation. We're getting a pitch runner coming on up here, and it will be number 3, Jonas Jensen, the sophomore. So 2 runners on, nobody out. Man, perfect time after you watch your 1-0 lead evaporate now into a 5-run deficit. 6-1 here, the advantage for the Cyclones. The pitch. Sails a bit too high on him, 1-0.
I'd say Gaslin's one of the hottest hitters on the team right now in this lineup, and as it was in the bottom of the first inning, hopefully he puts good bat to ball and
takes a look at ball 2. He scored the only run of the game. He drove in, I should say, the only run of the game for the Crusaders. He has 1 of 3 hits now here for Heelan. They're looking to claw their way back into this one. Runners on first and second, the pitch. Wisely lays off of that one. We draw 3-0. And a chance here. I mean, again, this was one where it's been primarily a tale of 2 different sides. Pitching-wise, Lefevre, up till this point in the last inning, really had seemed to go more of a pitcher's count for most of it, and Reynolds more hitter counts that he found himself in. But now it's kind of swapped a little bit here as of late.
Yeah, and that's high school for you, right? You're going to see a little inconsistency from the pitcher from inning to inning, and guys just got to battle through their control issues, and now we've got another visit from the head coach here, and we'll see what we've got, if Reynolds is going to be replaced or if we're just going to have a little bases loaded, no outs,
and boy,
slow down the game talk.
And you would certainly, I think maybe it has to be that one at this point. Lefevre doing a good job here overall on the season. Again, he came in with 21 strikeouts through 24 innings. Team's hitting .245 against him. He's only drawn 7 walks and just 9 earned runs against him on the mound. But when it comes to batting wise, he's done his own. He's held his own. 242, 9 total bases. He has 7 runs driven in, and he could really aid that here a big way with nobody out. At least one in the outfield will at least plate 1, if not 2. And that one on the inner edge, call it strike 1.
Well, after that short visit from the head coach, we get strike 1 called, and you got to think Lefevre's thinking hit to the right side of the infield here. There's a lot of space. First baseman is in.
And the runner's taken off from home. The dive, and it's not in time. We stole home, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Almost didn't catch it there. It was so quick, and that's how you manufacture another run. It's 6-2.
Absolutely. The Crusaders have done that a few times this season, and Dylan is gifted with a lot of speed, and I think they had kind of timed up that throw back to the pitcher from the catcher, and you always got to have your head on a swivel as a catcher and make sure that nobody's going anywhere when you're throwing that ball back to the pitcher.
Knapp gets it to now a 6-2 deficit here. Lefevre on at the plate. Takes that one high and has to duck out of danger for that one, as now we draw the count 3-1.
Reynolds is kind of getting frustrated with himself there. When the ball came back to the mound, he kind of snapped down at it and just frustrated with himself. He knows he's a better pitcher than he showed so far this inning.
And that one, a 5-pitch walk, will bring up another bases loaded situation. And you're going to do so to Alex Rodriguez stepping on up. He struck out his first trip. So Lefevre walks, back-to-back walks, as now Erickson stands on third, Gaswin on second, and Lefevre on at first.
And we've got courtesy runner Jackson Vickery on first base for LaFavor.
And so you've had a hit by pitch, single, and 2 walks. And still nobody out here. And a chance as that one is piled in there for strike 1. And, you know, it's easy to look at this and say you have the lead still, but Heelan has a bases loaded situation, nobody out.
Big swing by Rodriguez there. Just missed it. Swung underneath that high fastball.
So the 0-2 count here, and we get rocking. Reynolds on the mound, came in 24 strikeouts, has added a couple to his arsenal here in this one. That one sails outside.
They set up way outside on that pitch, hoping to get Rodriguez to chase, but he did not bite.
And Reynolds with 25 strikeouts on the season, and a swing through with that one makes it 26, as that marks 3 for the game and a big, and I do mean big, out number 1. And that'll bring up Chase Beck to the plate. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. He has bases loaded and a huge opportunity here. And he takes strike 1. And boy, you got the infield, the corners in anyway. You don't want to give up. They're not going to try and give up any runs here, as that swung on for strike 2. And you know, you could play it either way here, Jed. If it's a solid hit, that's getting into the outfield now.
Yeah, well, the corners are in, so they're trying to.
As that is swung on, and we have to pause for that because that is quickly 2 down.
Yeah. So now you'll see the corners move back to their regular depth, and JJ's going to have to do a 2-out job here. So bases are still loaded.
Hope moved a runner over his last time up with a sacrifice bunt, and of course he struck out in the first. He takes a look at ball 1 to start his 3rd at bat, and they need him now more than ever. That one, and you could tell a little frustrated by that one. He had it. It now brings it even at 1 apiece.
Well, Reynolds is really letting those fastballs fly this inning, and he's staying high in the zone. A lot of 4-seam fastballs here in all of these sequences, and so far it's working for him. Now we've got the top of the lineup here, so might be time to change approach and go back to a little bit more off speed. Keep the batter off balance here, even with the bases loaded. You don't want to square up a fastball and have a double driven to an alleyway.
The 1-1 delivery, and that's too far inside, and that will get one more run coming on home for the Crusaders. Not the way I'm sure he would have liked it to be drawn up, but he still helps bring in a run.
Yeah, judging by his reaction, his body language is telling a tale here. He's just not feeling good about his control tonight, and that happens. It's various reasons why that can happen, and you just got to battle through it. Thankfully for Reynolds, he's got a big lead here, so he's just got to find a way to get it out.
That one sent out of play for strike 1, as the lead by the Cyclones has been cut in half. 2 runs here in the bottom half of the 3rd has matched what Harlan did in the top half. It's a 6-3 ball game. Here's the pitch. That one tailed inside, had a little bit of bite to it at the end there, but that bite ends up taking it out of the zone now as we split it 1 apiece.
Yeah, that fastball kind of backed up and in on him.
Kind of one of those that almost seemed slightly like a 2-seamer, just had a lot of life.
Yeah.
And that's what you get from Reynolds, their ace. The pitch, and that's a slow chopper out there to short, and they'll get it to second for the force out and secure out number 3. But not before more happening. 1 hit, but they scored twice in that inning. A couple hit by pitches, a couple walks, and a whole lot of action. It's a 6-3 ball game, and we're going to give you a brand fresh new inning with inning number 4 coming on up. It's 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Cyclones right after this. But before we go anywhere, don't forget to check out the Batting Donut at the Batting Donut online. Great way to sweeten your swing. And it comes in 9 and 16 ounce varieties. A great way to pay homage to a great breakfast treat and help to strengthen it, home in on the swing mechanics, and a whole lot more. Check them out today at the Batting Donut. We'll be right back after this.
Oftentimes when you have an injury or fall and you're concerned, your first thought is to go to the emergency room. But with DMOS Urgent Injury Clinic, wait times are often a lot less and you can be seen at a lower cost.
If you know that your injury is related to bones, joints, muscles, ligaments, it's a great place to start.
From sprains and strains to fractures and even lacerations, we have 3 clinics for urgent injury that you can be seen at, and we have fantastic surgeons that we can consult and refer to when necessary.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, inside the broadcast. Andrew Brown, Chad Erickson here as we get rocking and rolling here for you. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what we've had so far, brought to you by Insulites. And the inning by inning, a 1-run lead for Heelan evaporated, 4-1 for Harlan after 2. And then the third inning had an explosion of offense, 2 runs apiece for each. That's how we had the 6-3 advantage. 8 hits so far here for Harlan. And that one gets hit high. That one has some carry to it. That one is going. And that one is out of here. Home run for the Harlan Crusaders as they add one more here to the works. As that was a heck of an at-bat. A long ball by Schneider takes it out, and it's now a 7-3 ball game.
Yeah, he got all of that. He barreled it up and hit it over the left center fence. Probably hit that 390 feet, if I'm going to give an estimate.
Oh, my gosh. He had to have. That was a heck of an at-bat. Didn't take long before he sent that one out of here. Now 7-3 is our ball game. And now that'll bring up the left fielder in Harrison Kiergaard to the plate. He reached on a fielder's choice and singled in 2 trips. And that one sails outside, ball 2. Really appreciate all the shout-outs here. Thank you very much here. Thank you for traveling to this game. Well, we really appreciate that a whole lot. Always fun to come. And, man, this is a heck of a game. It's calendar circling, in fact. And we're glad that we could make it. So really appreciate you. And thanks for everybody tuning in. As that one brings it to a 3-0 count. Coming on up, we'll get you a chance to win a free batting donut, courtesy of The Batting Donut. Check them out today at The Batting Donut online or all across social media. 9 hits here for the Cyclones. They lead this one 7-3. And the pitch, that one almost a snagger right back up the middle. And that's one where it went right back from where it came. And so hard to make a play on that one, close to. But then in the end, another single here for the Cyclones.
Yeah, the middle of this order so far this inning, obviously 2 barrels in a row. And, as a coach, you probably start thinking about it. Okay, third time through the lineup, and we might have to think about who's going to be the next pitcher in this game. Now, here's a bunt down the first baseline, fielded by LeFevre for the first out of the inning.
So Kiergaard picks up his 18th hit of the season here. And then, of course, Reynolds with a sacrifice to move them over. As now with 1 out, we move to Nelson, who comes back after singling and walking in 2 trips. So a runner in scoring position, and you know how to put the pressure on, get a runner in scoring position every single inning, and that's what Harlan has done.
Yeah, they've been steady at the bat here in this game and done a very good job of moving runners around, as we see here, their second sacrifice bunt of the game, and just every hitter up and down the lineup is doing a good job.
It truly has been effective. 10 hits on the ball game for the Cyclones against LeFevre, who again came in with 21 strikeouts here through 24 innings. And that one gets away, and the runner will take on off, and he'll be camped safely on at third. So again, some danger brewing here with the 1-1 count here and just 1 down. you just kind of wonder what the leash is like here for Lefevre at this point.
Yeah, he hasn't thrown a lot of pitches, but at the same time, you got to kind of go off of what the hitters have been doing against him, and he is, he is throwing strikes, but the barrels are finding the ball. So you got to start thinking about what might the next step be.
So far, just one Cyclone batter as that one gets a nice play, and he gets the out. Heck of an effort there. The diving stop by Giese, and that was as Superman as it comes there. Heck of a play to get out number 2.
No, Giese's a really good athlete. I'm glad to see him on the field. The Crusaders didn't have him for the first few weeks of the season. He was at state soccer. All conference soccer player is Giese, and not sure if the all-state awards have been named yet, but maybe there's a chance of that for him. It's good to see him out there and playing a really athletic second base.
That one will get all the way to the wall, and it will bounce, and that is putting on the Jets here. Spangenberg looking for his first hit at the game, and it comes in a big way as he triples this one here with 2 down.
Yeah, that ball just kept flying. He hit it well, but at the same time, off the bat, I thought Gaswin was going to have that in right, but it just kept traveling and traveling and traveling and ended up right in the corner in right field and deep enough that even with Gaswin's strong arm could not hold him to a double.
And, of course, his 5th extra base hit of the season brings home another run. It's now an 8-3 ball game here as Harlan keeps piling it on. And now up to the plate is Gross looking to add more to the mix. Again, as Gross comes up, he's been hit by pitch and singled. Again, Spangenberg was the only Harlan Cyclone up to this point who hadn't reached the base pass. And now all batters 1 through 9 have gotten on in some way, shape, or form.
Truly has been a team effort by Harlan. They've done a great job.
And the 3-0 count, 2 down. That one, the get me over strike that's needed here. And I think that, again, Coach Wesselman coming on in, his first year as a Crusader head coach. Again, taking over the reins of legendary head coach Osborne. And that one goes for ball 4 and draws the walk. But, it's really, really cool to see here that I love the lineage that you have here, because on this very field, Wesselman set the strikeout record for Briar Cliff. His name is etched into the history books, and now he gets to come back here almost every day as a head coach.
Yeah, Wesselman certainly has a great pedigree. Outstanding pitcher for Remsen St. Mary's here in Northwest Iowa, and then at Briar Cliff in his collegiate days, and staying around Northwest Iowa here now the new head coach at Heelan, hoping for another historic run with another team.
No doubt about that. That one dives in there for a strike. 1-1 to the count. Number 8 hole man, Gavin Heck, as he steps on up. He is 2 for 2 with a run driven in. So he has been perfect. And he sends that one out of play here, 1-2 the count. We're in the top of inning number 4. Harlan has scored in all but 1 inning so far. It's been 4 in the second and 2 in the third, and now 2 in the top of the 4th. Aiden Lefevre back on the mound here for the Crusaders, trying to get out of the jam. Time has been called here. 11 hits for Harlan as they have poured it on. They came in averaging nearly 8 hits per ball game, and they have certainly succeeded that here. That one gets away from Lefevre, and that will go off the shoulder of Heck. And for the 3rd straight trip, he will reach the base paths.
Yeah, breaking ball just got away from Aiden. He's snapping at the ball as it comes back from the catcher. And that brings Wesselman out of the dugout. We're going to see what we got going here. Bases loaded with 2 outs, top of the 4th.
Again, the number 5 ranked Heelan Crusaders hosting the 13th ranked Harlan Cyclones. And Coach Heath there for the Cyclones and Coach Wesselman here for the Crusaders. What would you do here? Would you keep them in? I mean, certainly he has the distance to go, but that on one end, do you go ahead and try and get the out here, or do you kind of rock with it still?
Well, it looks like we got our answer here.
Yeah, we do.
LeFevor's going to stay in and throw to this batter. I would imagine if he doesn't get this out, that might be the end of the day. This is the hard part about when your team that plays doubleheaders, 2 games last night. I know the team got back to Sioux City.
That one, a high chopper that will be nicely done by J.J. Hope as he secures it for out number 3. But yeah, you kind of got back-to-back games here, Chad. It's always tough to work with.
Yeah, it is. The difficult part of playing a schedule where you're playing varsity doubleheaders is you do burn through pitching, and the depth of the Heelan pitching staff has been tested quite a bit this season, and it's going to be tested again today. And then the other part, and this is the hardest part, probably being a high school coach where you've got 5 games in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 games last night at Thomas Jefferson, today against Harlan, obviously. Then we've got Sioux City North here tomorrow as well for Heelan. And as a coach, you're going to think about that. Keep that in the back of your mind. You got a whole litany of pitchers. Even though Mason Moravec threw a great complete game in game 1 last night down in Council Bluffs, we had to use a couple of pitchers to get through the next game. And so you've got some arms that aren't available today that could be available on Thursday.
Yeah.
But it just narrows the opportunities that you have, and you just try and use the pitches that you have and the pitchers that you have, and makes it a chess match.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. As we see Reynolds back out on the mound here for the Cyclones, and you know what? He's been doing what he's needed to do here. And now Brody Shaner up to the plate once more as he gets his 3rd at-bat here of the game. So far, he has walked and popped out in 2 trips. And boy, just when you thought that Heelan had a little bit of edge gaining that back with a 2-run bottom of the 3rd, as that one is rocketed left side and no chance to snare that one. And it gets away there in the outfield, but there is no advancement over there to second. We stand with a single here. But again, you had Heelan get back with 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, only to see Harlan answer that with 2 more in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Harlan has kept the pressure on this Heelan offense just for the fact that they've consistently put the ball in play and they've taken advantage of free bases, and it just pressures the game when you're aggressive at the plate and you're driving the ball around and hitting the ball hard. And now Heelan's got to match that intensity.
That one's fouled back here for strike 1. The next pitch, good job behind the dish as Kaufman keeps that in front of him. And there's got to be something to be said about play behind the plate there, because so many runs, so many bases could be advanced just by one ball sneaking by you.
Yeah, having a great backstop is vitally important.
That one dives in there for the strike 1 and 2. The count. 11 hits here for Harlan, and so far 4 hits for Heelan, as they're going to try and add on. The Crusaders have had 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 1st. And they find themselves down by an 8-3 margin here, and that one brings us even at 2 and 2. And so far, Schrainer has walked Knapp has flown out and has been hit by a pitch. This is the same individual who stole home, as that one's fouled out of play and remains at 2 and 2.
Yeah, I think if you're Reynolds here with a 5-run lead, you're trying to pitch to contact and be efficient with your pitch count, get your team to the end. If you give up a run here or there, that's all right. Your offense seems to be cooking. Just having
That
faith in
one-
your stuff.
That one gets sent left side, and that'll be out number 1 as the fly out to Kiergaard will get out number 1.
Catcher number 12, Peyton Erickson.
And now Erickson will step on up to the plate. So far, he's reached base twice, once via walk, once via single. And again, as we continue to roll on, Reynolds on the mound. He has struck out 4 in the process today, and he really hasn't had to do too much. A lot of defensive play behind him, and that's got to feel pretty good because, you know, Chad, the way it started out through the first 2 innings, you just weren't sure if he was going to make it past 2.
Right, yeah, just behind batters, especially in that first inning. You really struggled through 27 pitches in that first inning, which is taxing. And but he has settled down and has done a fine job and holding the Crusaders to just 4 hits.
No doubt about that. As we continue to roll along, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, check out High and Tight as we recap the week that was and give you our all-star lineups coming on up on Monday. That's right. Myself, Cade, and Eric will join in, and we'll go over who we think is our top guys in every class to field an all-star team in every class. And again, that'll come your way on Monday. The 2-0 delivery will settle in there for ball 3. And again, if you're Coach Heath right now, you got to be looking at this going, it's bending a lot, but he's not breaking.
Right, yeah. He's been able to work himself out of some jams, and it looks like he's kind of worked himself into another one here. But with a 5-run lead, you know, you throw 1 ground ball and you're out of this inning. You know, you're 1 pitch away in this situation. And so you got to trust your stuff. You got to trust your ability to throw the ball and hit your spots, and hopefully for Reynolds to get a ground ball here.
Gassman stepping on up.
Turn a double play to end the inning.
Gassman is 1-for-1, singled home a run in his first trip and walked in his second. He has runners on first and second here with 1 down.
Jonas Jensen in, courtesy for Erickson at first.
And that one, no go on the outer edge here, 1-0. Again, as that one squeaks through a little bit, we've had some action here last half inning. A home run here for the Harlan Cyclones. It came off of the bat of Colton Schneider, who again picked up RBI number 19 on the season.
Yeah, with that home run, he tied Argetsinger for the lead in home runs for the
That one, almost a heck of an effort there. That'll score at least 1. And we get another runner coming on home. We're plating 2 on a heck of a hit here. That gives an 8-4 ball game now.
Yeah, that was a nice hit back up the middle, line drive by Gassman. Just another example of how his hitting has come around this season. He's done an outstanding job, and no exception right there. Put a really good swing on the ball and just making really solid contact. Really barreled that up nicely.
So plates a couple there, and we get rolling. 5 hits now overall for Heelan. As that'll bring up Aiden LeFevre to the plate. He's walked and flown out in 2 trips. So the runner's back on first and second. That one, a slow roller out to short, the throw to second, and the exchange will be a double play. That's exactly what Reynolds wanted, but not before one more run crosses here for the Crusaders. As we once again cut the lead in half. It's an 8-4 ball game, and we'll have more coming on up. It's the 5th inning when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network.
Oftentimes when you have an injury or fall and you're concerned, your first thought is to go to the emergency room. But with VMOS Urgent Injury Clinic, wait times are often a lot less, and you can be seen at a lower cost.
If you know that your injury is related to bones, joints, muscles, ligaments, it's a great place to start.
From sprains and strains to fractures and even lacerations, we have 3 clinics for urgent injury that you can be seen at, and we have fantastic surgeons that we can consult and refer to when necessary.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Brown, Chad Erickson here as we are going and rocking here from Bishop Mueller Complex here in Sioux City, Iowa. The backdrop for our cross-conference battle here today. We'll take a look at what is going on here as we get these inning by inning. And, of course, we have new pitcher to tell you about here. Blatchford stepping on up, the junior. He's looking to get something rolling here. Hasn't recorded a strikeout so far on the year, but certainly would love to get that rolling here. But as we take a look at what's going on so far, boy, it's been back and forth, hasn't it? 11 hits for Harlan, and they have scored in almost every inning so far. The first was the only time they have not put up at least 2 runs. Meanwhile, Heelan scored 1 in the first and fourth and 2 in the third. And they have 5 hits so far on the game. And boy, it's been just when Heelan thinks that they're going to get somewhere, Harlan kind of takes it back. It's been a back and forth. Both these teams have, over the last 3 innings, have answered each other quite nicely.
Leading off the top of the fifth for Harlan.
This will be a good test for Blatchford. This is his second outing at the varsity level this season, and Wesselman's really going to lean on him here to find a way to make some outs here, hold the line. Definitely need the bullpen, the Crusaders do, to hold the line right here.
So Lefevre will exit after having all 8 runs credited to him. Most of those 11 hits as well. And he'll exit here with the potential shot at the loss, depending on how things roll here. Blatchford with the next pitch, the 0-1 will dive it in, and he'll secure quick number strike 2. And right now he's coming at him. He's aggressive, and I think Coach Wesselman had to have had that conversation with him.
Yeah, I think so. You're coming into the ball game, and you've got to. That looked like a pretty close pitch there to take, but a good 0-2 pitch there by Blatchford, trying to hit that inside corner against a tough left-handed hitter in Argetsinger.
And, of course, Argetsinger with the little chopper out there, and it has to be a race to the bag, and it'll be safe. That's what effort and speed will get you. Argetsinger leads things off here in the 5th as he legs out a single.
Number 4, Colton Snyder.
Colton Snyder.
Good running play there by Argetsinger, and he beat that ball out, and Blatchford was a little slow getting over there to cover, and those plays are always tough, and as a pitcher who hasn't had a lot of time on the mound, like Blatchford, that's a lot to ask.
And it's even more to ask right now for Snyder, who steps up, having just sent one over the left center field fence last time up.
Right. Yeah, he's got a tall order here with the top of the lineup coming up here, and he's just stepping on the mound for the second time this season.
The 0-1 delivery. That one's shot foul. Runner will have to head on back to first. Schneider with 3 runs driven in the ball game so far. He has been effective. In fact, he's reached base all 3 times, 2 singles and a home run. And boy, it's been when you got a guy like that. I mean, he's been doing this all season here, Chad. This is simply astonishing for us, but normal for Harlan. And here's the 0-2 delivery. Runner taken off. That one is hitting into right center field. That one will go, and that one will fall. That one will get one runner coming around, and he'll be strolling easily over to home. The throw to try and get him at second will be for naught, and Schneider will officially pick up his 4th run driven in the game. Heck of an effort for him at the plate.
Now that is for Harlan, number 12.
Yeah, he hit that ball very well, and the wind was really pushing it toward right center. Off the bat, it looked like it was probably going to be an out, but the ball kept getting pushed to right center and ultimately in between the 2 fielders out there, in between Knapp and Gaswent. And, he hit the ball well, no doubt about it. He is seeing the ball well today.
Kiergaard stepping up, 2 for 3, but reached with the fielder's choice back in the first. That one gets sent out right side. That will go flying, but nice job in center. Almost a collision. He did drop the ball, however. They will give him credit for the out. Meanwhile, as Schneider will move on over to third to put another runner in scoring position. So they do get the out with then fly out to center. Almost dangerous there as the collision almost cost him.
Yeah, absolutely. Knapp had to do some fancy footwork to get over Gasmuth. They were on a collision course, and thankfully nobody got injured. And the out was made, but it was deep enough to advance the runner from second to third. So got a runner here 90 feet away.
Reynolds stepping on up. He, I should say, marked one of 2 individuals to have, for the Harlan Cyclones, to have not reached the base pass. And so far he's gone 1 for 2, or 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. And that one tails too far out of here. We draw it now 2-0. Harlan again adds one more onto the book, and you know this is hard. Heelan's been playing pretty good offense. They have 5 hits in this game. They've equated it to 4 runs, but Harlan has just gone a step above, as they have poured in 13 hits to this point, and it's just been a heck of an outing offensively here for Harlan.
Yeah, they've had very aggressive at bats, and they've been doing a great job of putting bat to ball.
That one dialed in there for strike 1, and the needed one there. Heelan coming on in 15-7, Harlan 11-6 on the year, and boy, both Harlan's looking like they might as well be undefeated with how they're working here. A nice swing comes up empty here to draw the count full. And Blatchford right now, you got to think about this. You are 1 strike out from a very big hitter going down. Again, one that kind of caused him fits last time they saw each other in the sub-state final. Normal depth everywhere here for Heelan defensively. A runner on third. Here's the pitch. That one sails outside. Still just 1 out here in this one, and it's kind of tough. You have an opportunity to do something here. And, as Harlan, it just seems like it's coming naturally here. Again, at least 2 runs in 3 innings, 1 here in the top of the 5th. And that one got him, and the first strikeout here on the mound for number 23 as he sets him down in a big one. Reynolds now can say that he is the only one so far on the Harlan lineup that has not reached base.
Yeah, it never feels good when you're the one guy in the lineup who hasn't been able to manage to get on base when the rest of your team is raking. But, Reynolds is a good ball player. He still has some time. There's time left in this ball game for him to find a way on, but
that one roped out there into right, as that'll be out of the outstretched glove of Greasy. Heck of a dive there, but could not come up with that. He's limping just a little bit as he comes back. But it adds run number 10 on the board here for Harlan. It's a 10-4 lead.
Yeah, Geesey gave it his all there. Maybe just a bit shallow with his depth. I think maybe if he's playing a little bit more on the edge of the infield, maybe he can make that play. He seemed to have a beat on it, just missed it going into right field, but a nice hard line drive hit.
So
by Nelson there.
Spangenberg stepping on up. He is 1 for 3, had a triple and drove in a run his last time up. And all but 1 batter in this game for Harlan has reached base in some way, shape, or form. That one's high, and that one's hard to play. It will be out there for Erickson in a dive, and that's how you do it. Heck of an effort there as that danced all around in the sky, and it comes down into the glove of Erickson for out number 3. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. It's the bottom half of the inning when we come back. 8-9-1 due up as Heelan tries to answer right after this here on the IA Baseball Network.
When it comes to protecting your home, you need more than just a contractor. You need a team that you can trust. And at IA Sports, we trust Lion Exteriors. They deliver expert roofing, siding, and exterior solutions built to last, because your home deserves the best. With quality craftsmanship, honest service, and stress-free process from start to finish, they make upgrading your home simple and reliable. Whether it's storm damage, a full roof replacement, or a fresh new look, Lion Exteriors has you covered. Contact Noah today or visit lion-exteriors.com and tell them IA Sports sent you to schedule your free inspection. Lion Exteriors, protecting your kingdom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here as we get rocking and rolling here. Again, it has been all Harlan up to this point. Alex Rodriguez stepping on up here. He is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, and he would love to change the tides here as that one is sent back out of play here for 2 quick strikes. And man, it's been a back and forth, and despite what's going on, it's been a competitive game to this point. That one on a shot and a diving attempt out there by Schneider, unable to connect on that one. And the first hit of the ball game here for Rodriguez comes in the big one as he leads off the bottom of the 5th with a single.
Well, that's exactly what Heelan needed to start this inning, being down by 6 runs with 3 innings to play for them. And Heelan's got to make sure base runners, if they're going to get back into this game.
That one is almost not quite on that one as it pops in and out of the glove.
You can't really tell from where our camera is here, but there is a lot of wind. You can kind of see the ball players, and we've seen balls in the outfield travel extra distances because of that wind. So playing the wind, especially when you're a catcher,
yeah.
It's difficult.
Gosh.
It's very difficult.
I mean, the wind is whipping here. It's going left to right. And so there's a lot that you have. You got to fight the clouds. You got to fight everything. It's a small ball up there in the big sky as that one is dialed in there for the strike here. As Chase Beck will now watch a 1-2 count. Again, a runner is on first. And that will be strike 3 and set him down. So Reynolds on the mound, he's quietly putting together a heck of a game. That's strikeout number 5 for him on the day.
Yeah, Reynolds has been sneaky good this game. He hasn't had his best stuff, I think, and he would probably agree with that, but he has done the job that's been asked of him, making the outs when he needs to, and he's pitched through some trouble and has done a good job with it. So hats off to him. He's pitched a good game so far.
It's really been a bend but not break kind of a game for him because we've seen him so many times. Like right now, he is right off back into a hitter's count. And the defense has helped him quite a bit. It's been really fun to watch if you're a fan of defense, despite the fact that we have a 14-run game so far, 10 here for Harlan and 4 for Heelan. It's actually been a good defensive battle. I know it's hard to believe here, but it's been a good defensive battle. That one sails up high, and Reynolds gives him nothing to work with as he will walk him on 4 pitches. And now that'll bring up Tommy Carroll to the plate. And boy, if you need a hard hitter, this is kind of the guy right now. He is 1 for 3, but had a absolute roper of a single back in the first.
Yeah, probably see more patience up here at the top of the lineup. You got to make.
As we say that, a chopper out there to Schneider, and it eats him up out there. It's short. And that will be an error that will load the bases here with just 1 down.
Yeah, it's a tough play by Schneider there at shortstop. I think Rodriguez kind of shielded him a little bit. The umpire didn't call interference there, and so it stands from our vantage. It looked like maybe that could have been a call, but it didn't happen.
Well,
now
that
here's a
one
ground
is
ball.
looped out there into left field. That will plate one. So nice job stepping on up here for Schrainer as he gets his second hit of the ball game. First run driven in for him as he now brings this. It's a 10-5 ball game.
Well, 2 ground balls there, perfectly placed in a row, and Heelan's on the march. And we'll see what happens. Number 4 hitter with Knapp at the plate.
Stole home in one trip. He is officially 0 for 2, hit by pitch back in the third. And it's kind of one of those really interesting situations here. You got one down. This has all the feeling of a breakout type inning. That one sails too high. Heelan has halved everything so far for of the Cyclones anyway. Harlan with 2 errors compared to 1 here for Heelan. Harlan 14 hits compared to 7 for Heelan, and 10 runs for the Cyclones compared to 5 for the Crusaders.
Now that was Reynolds' 100th pitch of the game, so he's coming to the end of his outing here, and it'll be interesting to see what Harlan's coach has in store for the Crusaders here as far as a relief pitcher goes. Assuming we get there, I think maybe this inning or next will be his final pitch. So,
and the 2-2 count here, and up over the triple-digit marks in pitch here for Reynolds. That one gets sent high, and that one will be out of play. We remain at a 2-strike count.
Good at bat here by Knapp, fighting off pitches, finding something that he can drive. And that's what you got to have here. You got to have tough, competitive at bats if you're Heelan trying to get back into this ball game.
And so far in this at bat, competitive pitches here for the man on the mound in Reynolds. That one will get lifted left side. That'll be a single into the outfield grass. Plating one more, and boy, Heelan's making a game out of this one. Now count it. It's 10-6.
Yeah, just station to station here. 3 singles in a row now, and now coach is out of the dugout here. I think we're going to see a pitching change most likely.
Back-to-back RBI singles have now cut this lead down 10-6 here. And again, it's been something. A single, strikeout, walk, error, single. It's been busy work here for the Crusaders here in this inning. They have plated 2 so far, and it indeed will be the end of the road here for Reynolds. And you got to give credit to Reynolds as he will have 5 strikeouts under his belt. He'll be given credit here for 5 of the 6 runs, and he has given up 8 hits so far. And it will be an all-new pitcher on the mound when we come back. And when we come back, we're going to go ahead and give you more here in the bottom half of the 5th right after this.
.62, Coach. 62. First down. We're doing this so that the kids can continue to play. Like we used to enjoy playing when I was in high school. I understand how fun it was, and I want that same fun to be had by the kids now. So that's why we need more officials to keep these games going on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got Gross coming out from right field. He'll be taking the bump here. 5.25 ERA, 13 strikeouts here on the season. And he has gone through 16 innings worth of action. Officially an 0-2 record up to this point. Does have 1 save. And not quite looking at the save right now, but certainly right where it is, a 10-6 ball game. If he kind of shuts the door down on what has been a rally here for Heelan, he could get it.
Yeah, no doubt. I think, Coach is showing some faith in his junior and putting him out there. Gross has struggled with his consistency. has 8 walks and 6 hit batters in those 16 innings that he's pitched. And that's probably led to his ERA that's a little bit higher. But that was a good curveball to start off Erickson here in this at bat, called for strike 1.
And Erickson so far has been probably the most patient batter. 3 trips to the plate, 3 walks, and he'll send that one right side. The good pick, the fire to second, the exchange for the double play, and he got him. He got him on that one, and the rally has been cut short. Erickson on the 4-6-3 double play will effectively end it here. And the rally here in the bottom of the 5th will end at 2 runs, but still 2 runs came across here for the Crusaders as they chip away at the lead. It's a 10-6 ball game. And when we come back, it'll be Gross, Heck, Kaufman, 7-8-9 due up for the Harlan Cyclones when we return.
Oftentimes when you have an injury or fall and you're concerned, your first thought is to go to the emergency room. But with DMOS Urgent Injury Clinic, wait times are often a lot less and you can be seen at a lower cost.
If you know that your injury is related to bones, joints, muscles, ligaments, it's a great place to start.
From sprains and strains to fractures and even lacerations, we have 3 clinics for urgent injury that you can be seen at, and we have fantastic surgeons that we can consult and refer to when necessary.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It has been quite the effort here between both of these teams. And boy, it has been absolutely fun to watch. And thanks for tuning in and making this a part of your day. Again, in the bottom half of inning number 5, 2 runs scored here for the Crusaders. And so now where we stand, it's a 10-6 ball game. And we'll bring you the inning by inning mark. Heelan with 1 in the 1st, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 2 in the 5th. So they've been pretty consistent here, but even more consistent, the Cyclones. They have scored at least 2 runs in each of the last 4 innings, a big 4-run second, and they hold the edge 14 hits to 6 and a 10-6 run lead. That one gets lifted over there, and that will be a seeing eye blooper into left center field, into no man's land. And more hits here for Harlan as Gross picks up his 2nd of the ball game.
Yeah, so we've got the bottom of the lineup for Harlan, and they're off to a good start here. This is exactly what they need to do. The bottom of the lineup's got to find a way to get on, turn the lineup back over again this inning, try and add to that lead. And as far as Heelan goes, we got to hold the line here. You're running out of outs. There's only 6 outs left that you have as Heelan to score at least 4 more runs to extend this game. So every run that you give up here in the top of the 6th is going to exponentially create more problems for you.
Blatchford with strike 1 here on the 2nd batter. And again, it puts a lot of pressure on Blatchford right now. I mean, you cannot give up any more runs. You really do. You're down to the final 6 outs if you're Heelan, and you got to make something work here. But right now, it's been hitting them where they ain't. It's not like there's been a lot of hard contact here for Harlan, aside from a couple of balls to the fence and out of the park. But for the most part, a lot of soft liners that just find a way to get a base hit.
Yeah, the balls have been finding the hole, but Harlan's been doing a good job of making contact.
They
right?
have.
I mean,
they get the bat to the ball, and it's been working wonders. And so you can tell that this is a team that's worked on situational hitting, where to hit it to. And you know what? You don't have to hit everywhere. You don't have to be the hardest hitter out there. As that one will go up and tag him on the dome here. and it will put 2 runners on.
Well, that's not anything that you wanted to see from Blatchford there. And, high and in, and thankfully nobody got injured. But when you're in this situation, you can't afford freebies.
You cannot.
And now Harlan's in the catbird seat here with 2 runners on and nobody out.
As Kaufman stepping on up, he bunt singled in the second and had a sacrifice RBI in the third. So again, he's one of several that has reached base and added to the 10-run total. And the bunt attempt is just foul. Nearly a perfect bunt that hugged the line, but it just edged on the wrong side of the chalk line, and therefore strike 1.
And we've seen that several times today. Harlan's doing a really good job of forcing the pitcher to field his position.
Yes.
And Heelan's come up short a couple of times this game.
Well, you can even say that for both squads because, again, Knapp stole home here for Heelan. And so either way, both these pitchers, this pitching staffs, I should say, have really had to be on their toes. Bunt attempt now laid down, and that one dies right off of the bat here. And the throw to first will get him by a step. Oh, boy, that was close, though. In the long run, it does move the runners up here now 90 feet, and we get the chance now with 1 down. It's more chance here for Harlan to add on to the padding.
Well, this is exactly what Harlan wanted to have happen. They wanted to get 1 or 2 guys on in front of the top of the lineup, get this lineup turned over, and that's where we're at. We're back to the top of the lineup. Argett Singer, followed by Schneider. Their big bats are up, and they're looking to do some damage.
Argett Singer 1 for 3 with a sacrifice RBI, sends that one out of play for strike 1. He singled back in the 5th, and he came all the way around to score. So he's looking to add on. He's been pretty busy so far. He has an 0-1 count. And the look to fire. Nice job and getting the needed strike here, 0-2. And gosh, I almost thought Erickson was heading that way. A good fake there.
He made
a heck of a fake.
He made an aggressive move and forced the runner to slide back into third.
That one gets lifted out there into deep left field. It will be playable, and it will be caught. The runner will head on home, though. There will be no play made at the plate, and that will be an RBI sacrifice here for Argett Singer, his second of the game.
Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Colton Schneider.
Well, right there, that's how you win baseball games, right? Top of the lineup, you got a runner at third, less than 2 outs. And he just did a job. And so now you've created a situation where, all right, now instead of a 4-run lead, it's a 5-run lead. It takes more than a grand slam to tie the ball game.
Yep.
That's a big run right there. And that's a great disciplined at bat by Argett Singer to create that fly ball. And now we've got a
they're going to check to see if he did.
Third, but he did not leave early.
And so they're going to
call the ruling.
We're going to call it indeed the 15th hit or 15th strike of the game here for Harlan does bring in the run. Again, 15 hits overall, 11 runs for the Cyclones as a man who left the yard 2 at-bats ago is stepping on up. He swings through that one for the strike here, and we go 0-2 or 0-1, excuse me. Again, Schneider has been the hottest bat so far. He has driven in 4 so far. He's doubled, he's singled, he's home run. He's one shy of a cycle here. So if you're a fan of the cycle, I mean, you might be looking for a triple here. And Blatcher on the mound. Blatchford again came in. You're right, just 2 innings under his belt and hasn't had a varsity strikeout coming in. But he is tasked with probably one of the hardest things to do right now. And he's already given up 1 here in the 6th. And it's just you just got to try and stop the bleeding where you can.
Yeah, we got to close the door here. If you're the pitcher, You got to stop the bleeding.
And the pitch, and he gets him to swing through that one. Blatchford, the only, and you can see it on his face right there. Blatchford is the only Heelan Crusading pitcher, and again, he's only been one of two to set down Schneider on the day. So a big out number 3 right there, and it gets them to settle down, but one run does still cross here for Harlan. They hold the 11-6 advantage, and when we come back, it'll be up to 6, 7, and 8 for the Crusaders when we return right here on the IA Baseball Network.
"62, Coach, 62. First down. We're doing this so that the kids can continue to play. Like we used to enjoy playing when I was in high school. I understand how fun it was, and I want that same fun to be had by the kids now. So that's why we need more officials to keep these games going.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Gaswint stepping on up. He has been one of the most efficient batters here for the Crusaders, and he has driven in 2 runs up to this point. He is 2 for 2 with a walk as he takes a look at strike 1 in this at bat.
Gross starts him off with a breaking ball called for strike 1.
As that one gets chopped, left side foul, 0-2. You brought up a good point here. Again, on the back end to end that last half inning, Schneider with just his 7th strikeout all season at the plate, and it came by Blatchford picking up his 2nd strikeout of the season.
Yeah, it's a good pitch by Blatchford there. Got Schneider to chase on the outside corner, and there's strike 3.
And strike 3, Gaswint. He went up the ladder, and Gaswint went with him. And Gross picks up the strikeout here. As now we move on to the 7-hole man, Aiden. It looks like a
Blatchford hitting for
Blatchford
himself.
is hitting for himself here.
Yep.
Well, the favor ended with going 0 for 2 with a walk. And that one gets sent, and that'll be a fair ball. And that will be into the left field corner. That will give him a single. So with a runner now on first, still a chance. Still something going here.
Yeah, should see a courtesy runner here for Blatchford. Throwing a helmet on.
We'll see who that is. But as Blatchford picks up his first hit in one of his first swings.
Or maybe not.
That was one of his first swings, and he just gets up there extremely super confident.
You know what? He's just having fun out there, and it shows. He's got a smile on his face. He's feeling good, despite the score. He's in the ball game. He's having fun. And now here comes Mason Moravec pinch hitting for Rodriguez.
Rodriguez 1 for 3. Moravec stepping on up. And a big position there. He shoots one right side. The pick, the fire to second, the exchange over to first, and he got him. Wow. Nice play here by Nelson as he secured the backhand, but man, even better, the exchange was everything that you want and more. The 4-6-3 double play will effectively end it.
Schneider's got good hands there coming across the bag to make that double play. Second double play in a row here to end the 5th and the 6th innings.
And so despite some action here for Heelan, 2 double plays in a row, wrap up the 5th and now 6th inning. And now it's time for the do or die 7th. And we'll give that to you when we come on back here on the IA Baseball Network.
Oftentimes when you have an injury or fall and you're concerned, your first thought is to go to the emergency room. But with VMOS Urgent Injury Clinic, wait times are often a lot less, and you can be seen at a lower cost.
If you know that your injury is related to bones, joints, muscles, ligaments, it's a great place to start.
From sprains and strains to fractures and even lacerations, we have 3 clinics for urgent injury that you can be seen at, and we have fantastic surgeons that we can consult and refer to when necessary.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we come on back, and as we do so, I'm going to go ahead and bring you talk about the batting donut right here. It's the batting weight, the 9 to 16 ounce varieties. It's a chance for you to win that one here. And again, as we get you a little bit closer here, a cool spin on a way to pay homage to a great breakfast treat and more. We got a special word here for you that's coming on up here in this inning. If you are one of the first to get that, you are going to be the recipient of a batting donut right here. This guy right here, a nice blue color, really cool way. Or you can head on over to the battingdonut.com and get it in front of the camera here. Battingdonut.com, great way to sweeten your swing. And as we go through, we move on. At the top of the inning starts with the number 3 hole man in Kiergaard. As he steps in, he is officially 2 for 4, 2 singles. And he pokes that one, a little bit of a blooper, and it's not going to be played. An attempt by Beck goes for naught, as the error will now put a runner onto the base pass. And again, Harlan starting off strong here. And I know it's early, but every single inning in this ball game, the Cyclones have had a runner in scoring position and a chance here with Reynolds stepping up to the plate.
We did have a defensive substitution. That's Jackson Vickery at third base.
That one is set high. Reynolds will poke that into right field. Gassman will secure it cleanly. And that will probably, unless things change, mark the fact that Reynolds, despite as well as he's done on the mound, marks the only Cyclone to not get onto the base pass.
Yeah, he was a major contributor, obviously off the mound today. Did a really good job. Maybe not his best stuff, but he got the job done today for Harlan.
Nelson stepping on up next. He has walked once and singled twice. He drove in a run back in the 5th. He takes ball 1 here with 1 down and 1 runner on.
I think sometimes too, you're really judging a baseball player on how they react when they don't have their best stuff. Whether it's at the plate or it's on the mound or it's defensively, how are you working through it?
Yeah.
And Reynolds, hats off to him. He did a good job.
He has
working through some tight spots today and
Yep.
holding the line when he had to and not letting any inning really get away from him. And so that was really good work by Reynolds.
The stolen base is for good, as that is another one credited here as we get rolling with a runner now on second base. Kiergaard stands on second. Nelson up at the plate. So far in every inning, the Cyclones have had a runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch. A good swing, a healthy hack, but comes up empty here, 2-2. And you're right. You know what, man? For Nelson, it's absolutely been a great game for him out there. But Reynolds, we talked about it. I mean, he did what he did, a bend but not break type of mentality. You went out there, and when you can do that and keep your team in the game, really, as a coach, nothing more you can ask. That one is line fair. And that will get runner coming on, headed to home, and a stride will be an easy walk in there. And boy, as we go ahead and speak, it's the second triple of the game here for the Cyclones.
Yeah, he hit that very well down the right field line into the corner. Kind of had triple written all over it from the word go, just because he hit it so hard.
Now Spangenberg up. He also tripled. He drove in a run 2 at-bats ago.
Looks like we got a pitching change here. Looks like it's going to be Tommy Carroll coming in from left field to relieve Blatchford.
Blatchford, a couple strikeouts here. He's been the only Heelan Crusader so far to go ahead and strike out Schneider. So that's a huge tip of the cap here, a huge bill for him. As again, we'll get new pitcher and set things up the stage coming on up when we return.
When it comes to protecting your home, you need more than just a contractor. You need a team that you can trust. And at IA Sports, we trust Lion Exteriors. They deliver expert roofing, siding, and exterior solutions built to last. because your home deserves the best. With quality craftsmanship, honest service, and stress-free process from start to finish, they make upgrading your home simple and reliable. Whether it's storm damage, a full roof replacement, or a fresh new look, Lion Exteriors has you covered. Contact Noah today or visit lion-exteriors.com and tell them IA Sports sent you to schedule your free inspection. Lion Exteriors, protecting your kingdom.
'62, Coach. '62. First down. We're doing this so that the kids can continue to play. Like we used to enjoy playing when I was in high school. I understand how fun it was, and I want that same fun to be had by the kids now. So that's why we need more officials to keep these games going on.
Welcome on back, ladies and gentlemen. A new pitcher to tell you about in Tommy Carroll, the freshman. Just his second outing of the season, not a full inning under his belt, and he's looking also for his first strikeout of the season in varsity action. And we saw what Blatchford did, and certainly Coach Wesselman trying to dip a little deeper into the depth here today. But so far, it's come out fairly well.
Yeah, I think we're testing some of these younger guys against a very capable lineup in Harlan, and you're just kind of feeling out what you got. There's
What
a line
a
drive
play
caught
there.
by Vickery.
Vickery, an Adam ball, and he almost gets a double play going there. That was an absolute rocket shot.
Yeah, great glove work by Vickery there. And what I really liked about that, and he hasn't had a lot of time at third base this season, so it's great to see him right immediately after he caught that ball. He ran to third base to try and double the runner off. Just wasn't
great presence of
the
mind.
runner did a good job of getting back to the base right away. Sometimes guys freeze on a line drive, which really in this situation, not what you want to do, right? You want to on a line drive, you want to go immediately back to the base and not freeze.
Swing through by Gross here now brings the count 1-1.
Good breaking ball there by Carroll, and got a swing and a miss. Missed a barrel there, so that's good.
Again, great presence of mind, I think, defensively from both these teams. I mean, it's again, it may be 12-6, but there's been a lot of good defensive plays. I circle them on my scorebook here, and there's at least 4 or 5 for both teams here. And so highlight reels definitely will be coming from this game. So the 2-1 count here. Carroll looks, and he'll fire on home. That one gets hit high. It's playable. For now, anyway, and into the dugout. So a quick 2-2 here we go. And again, this is where if you're Heelan, you really try and stop the bleeding. But if you're Harlan, man, it just seems like you could score in any way possible. They've done so with the short ball. They've done so with the long ball. They've done so with patience. They've done so with just pure hitting. They have 16 hits on the game so far.
Yeah, it's been an onslaught. They put on a hitting clinic today, and that's fun to see, especially for the Harlan fans. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe that's not so fun for the Heelan fans, but for the Harlan fans, when you go on the road and you do what they've done today, that's impressive stuff.
It certainly is. And so, again, every single inning so far, we have had a run as that one goes too far, and it brings a runner onto the base pass here. Now on the corners here with the Cyclones.
Good block by Erickson there to keep that ball off the backstop. Don't want to give up any cheap runs here because you just lose your focus for a second.
Yeah, certainly if you're trying to make your way back here, as Heck stepping on up to the plate. He's had 3 trips, been hit twice. And he singled the only other time he didn't get hit, and he singled home a run back in the second. That one draws it 1-0 with the count. There are 2 down. Already 1 run crossed here. 16 hits, 12 runs. Harlan has scored in all but the top of the first. The delivery catches the inner edge just right to bring it 1-1. Again, it has been quite the battle here. There's been scoring. In fact, both teams have done some pretty decent scoring. I mean, 6 runs here for Heelan off 9 hits would get you a win most of the day. Runner taken off to second. There will be no throw. Kind of a wise step there because I think that was kind of baiting him just a sense there.
Yeah, I think when you're down this many, you probably don't want to risk that throw, allowing a run to score from third. And
Heck watches the count now. Rise 3-1. Again, they're trying to bait him there. Good presence of mind by Erickson behind the dish, making just. I mean, he is aggressive. It's a guy who can certainly get it there. But again, that's kind of tempting him a little too much down 6. That one, a nice stop, but it goes for ball 4. And so now runners on every single base here with 2 down.
Yeah, Carroll's going to have to find the strike zone here. There's no room for mistakes now.
As Kaufman stepping on up to the plate. He has 2 sacrifices under his belt and has driven in a run, but had a single back in the second. And certainly I think the bunt attempt is out here, but he is very capable of securing a hit. That one gets away from him just a bit, but wisely tells the runner at third, do not come.
Yeah, another good block there by Erickson. And you got to be a wall in this situation. You got to hold the line. Carroll's got to find the strike zone and induce maybe a ground ball here. And let's just get out of the inning for Heelan and battle away these last 3 outs of the ball game for them.
Yeah. Again, Heelan came in 15-7 on the year and 11-6 for Harlan coming in. Harlan had a day of rest in between this game. Meanwhile, Heelan comes off all the way the trip to Council Bluffs. That one will get away, and the run is coming on home, and it will count as run number 13 of the game here for the Cyclones.
Yeah, that pitch was just spiked, and there was nothing Peyton could do with that one. Just
that was
just took a wild hop over him, and there was no blocking that ball. It was
as far out as it was in the left-handed batter's box. It was hard to catch that one, and you're going to get some true hops, especially on a field like this. As that one dialed in for strike 1, and we have a 3-1 count. So a get me over strike that's needed. There is first base open, but certainly you don't want to add any more fuel to the fire. That one gets hit high and playable out there at third, and it will be secured for out number 3. But yet again, just like Noah's Ark, 2 of everything right now. 2 runs for the Cyclones in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and now 7th, as they now increase their lead 13-6. And it'll be time. The do-or-die bottom of the 7th here for the Heelan Crusaders. And 9-1-2 due up to try and etch their way back in this one. We'll be right back after this.
When it comes to protecting your home, you need more than just a contractor. You need a team that you can trust. And at IA Sports, we trust Lion Exteriors. They deliver expert roofing, siding, and exterior solutions built to last, because your home deserves the best. With quality craftsmanship, honest service, and stress-free process from start to finish, they make upgrading your home simple and reliable. Whether it's storm damage, a full roof replacement, or a fresh new look, Lion Exteriors has you covered. Contact Noah today or visit lion-exteriors.com and tell them IA Sports sent you to schedule your free inspection. Lion Exteriors, protecting your kingdom.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to go ahead and give you what's been happening so far in this game, brought to you by Insolites at insolites.com. And boy, it's been, if you've been a fan of offense, it's been there for you. For the Harlan Cyclones, they have scored in all but the first inning, and it's usually come in pairs. 2 innings in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 7th. They have 16 hits and they've pushed across 13 runs. Meanwhile, Bishop Heelan, they've scored in 4 out of the 7 innings so far, and they have pushed across 6 runs on 9 hits. They have had a pair of errors up to this point. And now they're going to try and etch their way back into it here. They need 7 to tie it, 8 to win it. Let's see what happens here as we get ready and rocking.
Here's Jackson Vickery, 9-hole hitter. I think when you're down 7 and you got 3 outs left in this ball game, as do the Crusaders here, you got to be patient, and you gotta know. You got to know that you're going to have to be a tough out regardless.
You kind of got to be more stingy than anything, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you got to be looking early in the count exactly for what you want. And you got to force this pitcher to throw strikes.
Yep. And he got the strike there. That was what he needed. And now we go 2-2. That one sails a bit high on him. Well done to that. The count has gone every which way, back and forth. It's now drawn full. And the next pitch, a little too far outside, draws the walk here. Heelan with a base runner on to start the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting for the Crusaders, shortstop number 5, JJ Hope.
And boy, if you wanted a rally to start, this is the guy that you'd love to have up. Hope so far has struck out a sacrifice, been hit by pitch, also scored a run, and has walked. So he's been busy, but he hasn't really had that hit that we've all been looking for. So a 1-0 count with 1 runner on.
Took a ball up and in there for ball 1, and so we are seeing patience from the Heelan hitters thus far.
That one on the inner third brings it even at 1 apiece. Again, both of these squads coming in battle tested here. Both these squads have had at least 2 or 3 losses over the last 6 games. That one is a slow hopper and gets it to second. The exchange to first, not in time. That was oh so close to being Harlan's 3rd double play of the game, but at the very least, they get the lead runner and get an out as Carroll steps on up to the plate.
Yeah, of course, Hope moves down the line very, very well. Really tough guy to double off.
Very.
Especially when it's a ground ball to third base. I mean, that's a difficult, 5-4-3 DP is really hard to pull off with that kind of speed coming out of the batter's box.
Carroll has singled in 3 trips. He's also walked, reached via error. He has only not reached base once in this game. He has a chance now. It's 0-1 count, 1 down. He's got to get something rolling here. That one's a pretty good one. That one's lifted left side, but that will be on the running catch here for Kijard as he will secure out number 2. And just like that, the Crusaders down to their final out here in this one.
Now batting the first baseman, number 13, Brody Cook.
So Kijard picks up out number 2.
And Shaner down to the last out here, and he's going to have to keep the line moving.
He's the leader in total bases for the squad, and they certainly would love to have him add on. So far, he has walked and singled twice, drove in a run as well. So they would certainly need, if they're going to do that rally, get those rally caps rolling. I don't know. That's what we did back in the day. Right. Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
We don't have any rally caps going.
Don't see any rally caps over there right now. I think they're waiting for the right opportune moment to pull those out.
Well, they might not get one here. That one sets high. That one's playable. And it is out number 3. And that is it. Kaufman calls game as he sets that one down for out number 3. And just like that, it is win number 12 on the year for the Harlan Cyclones, as they go ahead and win this one by a 13-6 margin. They use 16 hits and just 1 error. And that's how we wrap it up. Hey, we're going to take just a quick break, and we come back. We're going to wrap things up and put a bow on it. It's a 13-6 winner for the Cyclones when we return right here on the iBaseball Network.
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, you know, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field. So it doesn't really help much, but what does help is encouraging your team when they're down, when the call doesn't go their way. Instead of yelling at the officials, try to help encourage your team and get them out of the funk that they're in and try and get them in the right direction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. It's post-game coverage as it is a 13-6 Harlan win here as we'll take a look at what's been happening. The pulse of the game here brought to you by Insulates, the LED insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. If you're tired of shocking yourself to test if your fence is working, Insulates is it. It can go onto almost any type of post out there. And here's the deal. It goes with the pulse of the electric fence. So there's no grounding anything, add any bulky equipment. It's simply pick, place, and watch it work. Check them out today at insulates.com. All right, here as we take a look at the final line score, it's 16 hits for Harlan, and they poke across 13 runs, just one error suffered on the day, and 9 hits here for the Crusaders. They push across 6 runs, and they had 2 errors on the contest. We're going to take a look at what's going on. We've seen the roads that's happened already, but let's take a look at the road ahead here, brought to you by Insulates. And as we do so for Harlan, next up, they've got a couple home games against Lewis Central and Carlisle before taking on 2 games on the road, and then 2 more against Thomas Jefferson and Red Oak. Again, 2 of the next 6 opponents they have been undefeated against in the Bound era, Shenandoah and Red Oak. And, of course, we'll take a look at the road ahead for Heelan as Heelan drops here to 15-8 on the year. Their next couple games right back at home, and they're taking on Sioux City foes in Sioux City North and Sioux City West before they take 3 straight road trips, a couple of those at the Prongy Classic anyway, as they will take on Sergeant Bluff Luton, Carlisle, DCG before coming back home against Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln. And that has been the road ahead for both squads, brought to you by Insulates. And so as we go ahead and start to wrap things up here, we'll go ahead and bring you back into the booth once the camera angle gets set. But again, I want to go ahead and thank you all for joining in. And here, Chad, it has been, this was, despite it, there was some good defense happening in this game, but ultimately there was so much of hit them where they ain't.
Yeah, there was. There were a lot of balls that fell in, but there were a lot of well hit balls too. Line drives,
yeah,
and deep fly balls that found the gaps and found the corners and things like that. You know, most all of them attributable to Harlan and their hitting and their aggressiveness at the plate, and they had an outstanding day at the plate. They really put on a hitting clinic, and they really showed what they can do. And so hats off to them. They had a really great game tonight.
It was truly one that was fun to watch. Harlan had at least 1 run in all but the first inning. And in fact, they scored from the second inning on. And again, it was mostly in Noah's Ark territory, 2-2-2-2-2. But, you know, they did so the right way. You talked about it. Even a sacrifice hit out in the outfield, you know, it doesn't get recorded as a hit, but it brings home the run. And there were so many of those that every time Heelan answered, it was just a right back at it, another answer back here by Harlan. So it was so much back and forth that it was pretty much impossible for Heelan to make a strong comeback.
Right. And whereas when Heelan had runners on base, they found ways to hit into double plays and things like that. You know, once again, it takes Harlan's defense to turn those double plays, obviously. But those are rally killers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Those twin killings, and that's just kind of the way that it was for Heelan today, where they put the ball in play. Things didn't really fall their way.
Yeah.
And so they just pretty much after the first inning they trailed and just couldn't fight their way back into the ball game. So it was a tough luck day for them. Harlan played very well offensively and defensively. Reynolds did a great job in the first few innings of working through the traffic that was on the base paths, and so that shows that he is a senior. He's seen it before.
He's been there.
Poise and being collected, even though you could tell he didn't have his best stuff today. He still got those. He still made those outs when he needed to.
Yes, no doubt. And now we have to come to a hard part in the broadcast. We got to pick a player of the game here, and I got to say, Reynolds certainly did what he needed to do. He went out there, bend but not break. He did give up, I believe, 6-7 hits on the day, without looking at the scorebook here. But ultimately he did what he needed to do. But then, of course, there is on the other side of that, Schneider. He had just one out. He won out the entire game. He drove in 4, had a home run, and he recorded just his 7th strikeout all year. But that goes along the list of a ton of guys who could have gotten it.
Yeah. For me, it's Schneider. He had the biggest, he had the long ball, he hit a long ball. He was a triple short of the cycle.
Yeah, he was a triple short.
And up until that last at bat where he chased the ball out of the zone, he was 4 for 4 on the day. And not only that, but we got a lot of wind coming in.
A lot of wind smoking on in here.
But
go ahead and bring that back.
Maybe get a little storm or something.
I know.
But not only that, but the double plays that he turned. Showing the footwork and having quick hands and turning those double plays and really stopping the Heelan rallies late in the game.
Oh my gosh!
With making those turns and making it look easy and he's a big, long, strong kid and man, I'm not sure where he's going to college. But to me, he looked like a college baseball player today.
Oh, he sure did.
How he handled himself on the field, offensively and defensively.
So Schneider, our Insulates.com player of the game. Again, check him out today at Insulates.com. The LED insulated light that you can see from up to half a mile or more away. We talked about it here for those still left and rocking with us. If you go ahead and email us at ibaseball1@gmail.com, the word pitch, you could earn a free donut courtesy of The Batting Donut. You can check them out at thebattingdonut.com or wherever you find them in social media. Absolutely great thing. Look at it here. Nice, thick. This is the 16 ounce. They come in 9 and 16 ounce varieties. And they come in 3 different colors. This one, an absolute baby blue. Absolutely love that and making me hungry here. But nonetheless, this is it. Go ahead and email us, iabaseball1@gmail.com. And if you are the first, you get this guy right here. So make sure to check it out today and, of course, all across. We've got coming on up here in this week, we've got our all-star teams. Myself, Cade, Eric, going to go ahead and give us our all-star teams. And so that's brewing up. So get your all-star thoughts in. Who should be an all-star and who shouldn't? But we'll go ahead and get that for you on Monday on High and Tight. But until we see each other next time, ladies and gentlemen, for Chad Erickson and myself, thanks again for tuning in. And we will be back on the road in Carroll on Friday for another broadcast as Carroll takes on Coon Rapids Bayard in another top 16 showdown. And we'll be right there for you. But until we see each other next, stay safe on the base pass. Thanks again, guys, and take care.